You Hi, Elvis. Haru still has like 30 seconds or something left on his third person redeem. Thank you for the head pat, Chef Hathaway. Also, thank you for the bits, and thank you for the follow, Holden Falsh? Is that how Haru's supposed to say that one? Thank you for the head pat, Richard. Sam wasn't watching the timer, and that jump scared Sam. Haru always tries to start at the same time within like usually okay there was the timer. I can be normal again. I usually try to start at the same time every day. It's usually 4 o'clock. Sometimes I'm like a minute or two late. Sometimes if I get distracted or I'm not quite ready in time. Just Holden is fine. Thank you for dropping by. It's good to see you. How's everybody doing today? It's Thursday. You've almost made it. It's 7 p.m. Yeah, maybe in the other time zones. The time zones that aren't the protagonist time zone where I live. It's so late? It's not so late. Terrible as always. Are you okay, Vita? If you ever need to talk, you can feel free to message me anytime. I was hoping it was 5. No, it's 4. It's 4 p.m. Almofies. It is 4:02 p.m. on the dot. On the dot, Almofies. You've made it to the day before the end of the week. And don't forget, Almofies, tomorrow we're gonna have a 24-hour stream. I don't really have everything completely ready for that yet, but today's stream is also going to be like an hour shorter than usual because I have an appointment I need to get to today. And once I'm done with my appointment, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna work hard on everything for tomorrow because it's not ready yet. It's not ready. I'm a bad headcount. Hello, Baru. Bikazuki. Hi, Haru. How's everybody doing? Hardworking Haru. I kinda have my initial plans, Olympies. Tomorrow we are going to have I've talked about this once or twice already. I have an NES. Got it secondhand. Kinda sorta recently. I think it was in like the last year or so. And it came with an EverDrive. Okay, you following along so far? That thing, as far as I'm aware, has like basically every game under the sun on it. It even has like all of the knockoff like Tengen carts and stuff loaded up on there. And my thought process was, what we're gonna do is, I figured you guys could use channel points or something to make me like swap a game at any time, and I was going to like rig something up to just shoot out like a random name of one of the games that I'm going to have to switch to, but if I can't figure out how to get that going in time, I'll probably just let you guys like name a game for me or like say go to this category or whatever. But the reason that I think that's maybe kind of a bad idea now is because we do have the cookie raffle coming up in at the end of November, and you guys are gonna want to save some of your points for that. Do you have the best Famicom game? Which one? Why are you outside of a spirit Halloween? Because it's October, of course! It's October! Hi, Froggy, welcome in. I hope you're having a nice Thursday. I must obtain cookie. Yeah, if you guys want to win cookies in November, again, talked about this a few times before, all you'll have to do, save up enough channel points to buy one of the guaranteed ones. It seems like there's enough people interested. Maybe I'll go back and do a little more cookie math this year and see, like, I had like just shy of 1,100 cookies baked last year whenever I sent them out, and I'll do a little bit of cookie math and see if I'm going to be able to like crank up the amount of slots. Maybe instead of being like 5 people per slot, I'll see if I can do like 8 people per slots or something. Mods can have a little cookie as a treat. You gotta get your cookies just like everyone else. You gotta get them just like everyone else. I'll save as much as I can for the guaranteed one this year. I missed my chance last time. See, I felt really bad last year. I felt really bad because I wanted to let everybody win. I kept doing so many extra spins last year, and I felt bad for everybody that didn't get to win. I felt really bad, Omvies. Hi Higa. I think I did like, I said I was going to do, what was it? I think I said I was going to do 5 spins last year to keep it nice and simple. What's a cookie? I'll pull up a picture real quick. I've shared this a couple times too. It's always a pain in the butt for me to find. Hold on. Anniversary stream assets. I thankfully haven't cleared out my anniversary stream assets folder yet. The one that I used like, oh gosh, when was my anniversary? That's in like May. That was like 5 months ago, and I still haven't cleaned that folder back out yet. But let me scoot out of the way real quick. Every year, even before I started VTubing, because I've only been VTubing for like about a year and a half now, give or take, and every year, around Christmas time, I bake a whole bunch of cookies. I bake a ton of cookies, and some lucky Awomfies are gonna get the chance to get a box of them this year and last year. Last year, I think I ended up sending them out to. Let me actually rotate this picture so it's more seeable for you guys. Here we go. Let me blow that up. I know I'm in the way. I know my big fat tail is in the way, but here's like all of the cookies that I made last year, I believe. I think there were actually some that wouldn't fit in the picture, but you guys are gonna have the chance to win some this year. Come next month, November, I'm going to have a redeem. I'm going to have some guaranteed buy-in redeems for people that have been here for a while. It'll be 25,000 points. Thank you for the follow, Froggy. It's going to be 25,000 points to get a guaranteed slot, and then I'm going to have like, they'll be limited. It'll be like maybe 5 slots, maybe 8 slots. I'll see what I can do per like early bird buy-in. And the first one's going to cost 25,000, then the second one will cost 50,000, then 100,000 for the last one. And once all of the guaranteed slots, once all of the buy-in slots are taken, I'm going to do a raffle again, like last year as well. And I don't know how many people I'm going to let win the raffle, but the only thing you need to be aware of with the cookies on Wolfies, the only thing you got to be aware of, I don't really have the facilities to keep allergens separate. If you're allergic to like nuts or gluten or dairy or fish or like anything like that, maybe keep in mind like these are gonna be all processed together. Like it is almost like given that there is going to be like a peanut touching your cookie somewhere. Why is there fish in the cookies? I was just naming off allergens. Hi, Pepperoni Man. Let me get a drink real quick, Elmface. Let me get a drink. Froggy redeemed to hydrate. Let me get a real quick sippy. There'll be allergens in your food. Yeah, like if you're allergic to like you know, horrible venomous spider venom, or if you're allergic to like anthrax, or if you're allergic to like deadly mushroom spores, or I don't know, anything like that. I'm just kidding. It'll just be like normal common allergens. If you are allergic to anything like that, that is a risk you are going to be, you're gonna have to be willing to take. Like, I don't want to be legally responsible if you're like allergic to peanuts and you decide that you want to eat my cookies anyway, and then like you kick the bucket. I don't want to kill any Owumfies, but I also don't want to be like getting sued. Is there pollen in the cookies? I haven't finalized my cookie list this year, so I don't know if any of them are going to have like any honey or anything like that. I'm not sure. I don't think I used any honey last year, but I'm not positive. I don't really remember. These are not produced in a peanut-free facility. In fact, there may be extra peanuts. Yeah, you're gonna have like an oatmeal cookie or something, and you'll be like, what? Why are there big chunks of peanut in my oatmeal cookie? That's just the kind of facility I'm running Owumfies. But I just make these out of my house, so like I don't have the facilities to separate that stuff. And you're going to need to be willing to pay for your own shipping. This is something where I go and buy like all of the ingredients and everything like out of pocket every year, and I do most of the shipping to like people that I know personally, just out of pocket, and it's usually a pretty big expense for me. So in the last couple of years, I've started asking people to pay for their own shipping. If you are going to sign up for cookies, you need to be okay with paying your own shipping, and you need to be okay with obviously giving me your address, because I can't just like envision your username in my mind while holding the box and send it to your destination that way. I don't have that power just yet, unfortunately, but give it a couple more years. Maybe I'll get it in time. I can have honey, just not pollen, like when I open my box while I get sprayed by pollen. That shouldn't happen, but like, let's not rule anything out. There's a fish in the cookie maker. Maybe it's like I just happen to be enjoying some nice sashimi while I'm making the cookies, and like I accidentally just drop a giant like a giant chunk of raw salmon into the cookie dough and I bake it that way. There shouldn't be any fish. But if you're allergic to anything, please just keep that in mind. Like, there are going to be allergens. I don't want anybody to get sick on my behalf. Okay, Owumfies? I care about you guys. I don't want anybody getting sick. Yummy fish cookies. Fire still needs to grind to attain instant transmission. Imagine eating a cookie and finding a whole fish head. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's made something like that before. Hold on, let me get this flipped back around the proper way, and let me get back in front of the spookiest place of the season on One Piece, Spirit Halloween. I want to go out of my way to make a special trip to a Spirit Halloween this year, because I don't think I've ever been to one. I imagine, given what they are, they're probably pretty like overpriced. Maybe. I don't really know. Imagine finding Shadow the Hedgehog in your cookies. That would be cool. I have only seen like 30 seconds of Shadow the Hedgehog so far, but he seems really cool. Haru, please make Sonic and Shadow cookies this year. Ah! Hold on. I'm sure this is a thing. Let me go over to my browser here. Shadow the Hedgehog cookies. There are some that are shaped like his head. I don't know if I'm cool enough to like decorate them and have it come out looking good. I've never really done a whole lot of like decorating. I made a cake here like, I think that was last weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago now, and I cannot frost a cake to save my life. They always look so ugly. Like, they're still tasty, but I can't do it. And Tails, it's coming out the 20th of December. Is that the movie, or is that the... Yeah, it's the movie that's coming out in December. The, what is it? Sonic and Shadow Generations thing. That's coming out in like 12 days or something like that, I think. Give or take. I don't know if I'm going to be ready in time for that, but we should at least beat Sonic Adventure 2 before the movie comes out. Also, thank you for the head pat, Richard. I love the Sonic movies. I love the Sonic movies on movies. I gotta make sure I'm ready to watch Sonic 3. I gotta make sure. Because I don't know, it's almost definitely going to have Sonic Adventure 2 as a prerequisite for watching it, because it's going to have Shadow. It seems like from what little I know and what I've seen of the trailers, like, it's basically gonna be Sonic Adventure 2, but, you know, in the movies. I got pants just for the movie? What do you mean you got pants? But I don't know if they're going to have any references to, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, or, like, you guys said Shadow was in, like, Sonic 06 and Sonic Heroes, right? Well, what else did you say he was in? He's in, like, Sonic X? I think it was, and he's in a couple different things. And honestly, like, I didn't know he was in all that stuff. I thought he was mostly just in Sonic Adventure 2 and his own game, and like he made small appearances here and there, but you guys were saying he is pretty integral to some of them. He's in basically everything after Adventure 2? Okay, that is news for me. It has Sonic and Shadow on it. I would love to see those pants. I'm ready for Keanu Reeves to speak the words, "Where is that darn fourth Chaos Emerald?" Is that from Sonic Adventure 2, or is that from Shadow the Hedgehog? I should have started playing them early. I should have started playing them sooner so that we could play through both Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, but we'll at least get through Sonic Adventure 2. That's from Shadow? With minor exceptions like Sonic Colors, but nobody's in that game. Is that the one that has the weird, like, Digimon as the antagonists or something like that? They look like they're, like, big floating Digimon, and they have the things that are kinda sorta like Chows, but they're not Chows. They're, like, weird, kind of animal friends from what I recall, or I think they're, like, music-themed? Is that right? I've never played Colors. I've never played Colors. I've only played... In terms of the 3D games, like, obviously, I've played, like, Sonic 1, 2, and 3. I've played Mania. I've played a tiny bit of CD. But before we played through Sonic Adventure 1 together, I had only played a little tiny bit of, gosh, which ones have I played? I played a tiny bit of Generations, and I think that might be it. I think that might be the only 3D Sonic game I've had any experience with. Look up Sonic and Shadow Pants from Hot Topic. Alright, I won't fuse. Let's see Sonic and Shadow Pants. Hot Topic. Let's see these. I love these. I love these, I won't fuse. Check these out. Let me get this up on the screen. Sonic Unleashed doesn't have them either. Does Sonic Unleashed have a lot of characters in general? I feel like I was talking about this whenever we played Sonic Adventure 2 the other day. I feel like everybody always used to say that Sonic Unleashed was not very good. And I feel like in the last couple of years, the opinion has started kind of shifting on it. And I've seen a lot of people saying, like, either the whole game is really good and it's just got some flaws, or like I've seen some people saying that, like, the Werehog stages are really good, but like the regular stages are kind of like whatever, like, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It feels like the opinion has been turning recently. Sadly, I never played Sonic games other than the new one, but I watched all the shows and the IDW comics. I have never seen a Sonic show or comic. We've watched like a couple of isolated episodes of the like Saturday morning cartoon one in the Awonfi Cord, which, speaking of by the way, if anybody here isn't in the Awonfi Cord, there's the link. There's where you can join. We're gonna be watching Nosferatu this Sunday, but I haven't seen any of them other than just a couple isolated episodes here and there that we've watched in the Awonfi Cord. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. Let me go welcome everybody in. I'm bad at One Piece. I'm bad. I need heckhound correction. I need heckhound correction because I am a naughty heckhound. Welcome in Richard Rebuttal. Welcome in Almighty Funk. Welcome in Shiroiga. Welcome in Vita. Welcome in Mokuken. Welcome in Romblimo. Welcome in Blessed Heretic. Welcome in Chef Hathaway. Welcome in Big Nerd Sam. Welcome in Holden. Welcome in Cherry. Welcome in Cyber Angle Ben 10. I am always going to say that is Cyber Angle Ben 10 because that is the funniest thing in the world to me. That is the funniest thing in the world to me. Welcome in Froggy. Welcome in Higa. Welcome in Pepperoni Man. Welcome in anyone that might be lurking too. You're just as appreciated. You are just as appreciated to me. The consensus of Sonic Unleashed is that most of the daytime running stages are pretty good, and the nighttime Warhog stages are god-awful, way too long. How do the nighttime stages play? How do they play? I don't actually know how those play. Are they like beat-em-ups or something? I only guess that because he has like the really big arms on it, right? Whenever he's like in Werehog mode, he's got like the really humongous like forearms. The most boring 3D beat 'em up you've ever seen? I don't know. There's some pretty bad ones out there. I kind of sort of want to play Frontiers at some point. I feel like everybody's seen the, what do they call it? The Sonic cycle, right? Let me see if I can find an infographic. Here's the Sonic cycle. Is this gonna be readable if I put it up on screen? Is this gonna be readable? Let's see. That's a little bit tiny. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, Olympies. First info on new Sonic game. Lack of friends and screens. Hopes are raised. Fans begin to claim this is Sonic's triumphant return. More screens and info on new Sonic game. Pictures of friends. Pictures of new friends. Gameplay looks to be the same old. Hopes hit the ground. Game released. Reviews slam the game. Massive disappointment. Fans proclaim they will never be fooled again. And I feel like they're missing a step in the Sonic cycle. I feel like after the new game is released, I feel like every time a new game comes out, people swap their opinions on the previous game. But, big but here. I feel like with Frontiers, that was the first time I saw people being like, yeah, Frontiers is pretty okay. It does its own thing. It does its own kind of thing, but like, it's okay. And I feel like usually most of the time, it's just like it takes until the next game comes out for people to start defending like the previous game. So like, I don't know. You would have. What's the last Sonic game before Frontiers? Was that Forces? And like, what was the one before that? Was it Colors? Was it Generations? But I feel like whenever the next game comes out, it's always like people were like the one before it. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty okay. It had its moments, you know, that kind of thing. But with Frontiers, it seemed like everybody was like, Sonic in an open world format isn't too bad. And like, I've seen some people saying like it's not the greatest thing ever, but I haven't seen anybody saying that it's straight up like awful. Sonic Cycle is largely broken because everyone expected Frontiers to be garbage. And then it was kinda but it's good enough by Sonic standards. Ha ha ha. Huge butt, big butt, ha ha ha. How obvious. I got Frontiers, but it's hecka hard. I look forward to trying it sometime. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to that because I have like a billion Sonic games to get through. I think if I were to jump into Frontiers now. Also, hi that Genie problem. What's shaking? What's going on today? I think if I were to jump into Frontiers now, like there'd probably be a lot of characters that I just don't know, and like They'd probably... Do they ever reference the story in previous Sonic games? Like, do they ever talk about, like, the space station blowing up thing in Sonic Adventure 2? Do they ever talk about, like... Is Sonic ever, like, haha, remember that time I got turned into a werehog? Funniest thing I ever seen. Eggman blowing up the moon in Sonic Adventure 2 is a constant in the series. The moon's constantly ruined in most Sonic games past that. I'm surprised they didn't, like, roll that back. That seems like kind of a major event. I mean, it's good that I think it's good to keep continuity in your games, but it kind of surprises me they didn't just, like, roll that one back. Okay, let me get this back off screen real quick. Let me get that back off screen. I know you guys are here to look at Heckhounds, and you're here to look at Spirit Halloween. You're here to look at the giant pumpkin that's just kind of hovering in the air. Don't ask how it does that, by the way. That's just my new logo, so it's just gonna hang there until, like, somebody carves out a jack-o'-lantern or something. I love Waveform Sonic. I've never heard of Waveform Sonic. Sorry about that, Face. Imagine doing Tails levels for 4 to 5 times longer and 4 times as much. Do they play like the Sonic Adventure 2 Tails levels? 'Cause I feel like, honestly, the Tails levels in Sonic Adventure 1 were fine. I wish Tails in Sonic Adventure 2 would just play like Tails in Sonic Adventure 1, because the mech is the most unfun thing in the world. Like, it is so slippery, it is so slidey, it feels like I'm not really... It doesn't feel like there's a ton of skill involved. It's like I just hold down the funny kill button and then I, like, spin around in a circle and mark everything and, like, I'm good to go. But I don't know. I feel like the mech levels just feel like they're as padding. I hope whenever we get to the... What do they call the two storylines? The hero side and the dark side? The evil side? The villain side? It's dark, right? I think it's dark, but I hope whenever we get to that side, like... You guys have been telling me Eggman plays a little bit better. I hope he's pretty significantly better, because Tails is just not fun to play as, honestly. I tried the 2 Wii games and was severely disappointed. What are the Wii ones? Colors and... Was there another one on the way? I know that they were doing like the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games things, like all the way back on the Wii, I believe. And they stopped doing those finally, like this year I think it was. And it's so sad. It's so sad on one face. They stopped making those perfectly good video games that were bringing them in money to instead they wanted to like focus on making Olympics like NFTs or something like that. It's like, my man, it is the year 2024. You're still trying to do NFTs. It is late 2024 and you're still trying to do NFTs. Like, did you not see how that went for everyone? And it lost the money, did it? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Whoever made the cyberspace levels in Frontiers needs to be slow. They had a new character that's like some like little girl that's like a programmer or something, right? Like maybe Eggman coded her or something. Hi, Howl. Gotta buy the Dip Haru NFTs will return. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I think NFTs have had their time, and now they're gonna go and they're gonna rest. And they'll rest for as long as they need to, and we likely won't see them again. They had a time, maybe not a good one, but they had a time. Like, everybody heard of NFTs. Everybody heard of NFTs, and I've mentioned a couple times, like, I have a lot of friends that are in, like, the tech industry, and they said that, like, surprisingly, a lot of people that seem, like, really educated that are in, like, the tech spaces, the people that you would expect to know better at, like, the companies that my buddies are working at, they were like, I can't believe it. My coworker just bought, like, thousands of dollars worth of NFTs, and it's like, my friend would say, like, I thought this was a pretty intelligent person, and they just went out and spent all of their money on NFTs. Not throwing shade at anyone if you bought into the NFT stuff, but like, they felt to me like from the get-go they were just a blatant scam. I mean, I don't know. There might have been potential use cases for them if they were used for, like, say, I saw some people theorizing that they were going to be used in video games, and you would have something where, like, say you had a big game maker, right? And, like, let's say you have Blizzard or something, and maybe they make, like, NFTs that work in their games, and you have, like, you have, like, a sword that you can take from, like, WoW to Diablo to some other game. I could see NFTs being useful in that case, but they weren't really used that way. I remember there were a lot of games that were trying to sell, like, NFTs for, like, parcels of land and stuff like that, like kind of sort of pseudo MMOs that were started up just for the purpose of selling, like, land and stuff, you know. The mech parts are mostly are the most filler parts. That's literally Tails' problem. He has a worse controlling mech and worse levels overall. Eggman somehow controls and plays much better while having better levels. Why wouldn't they at least balance it out by giving, like, Tails better levels or something if he's going to have a slipperier mech? You know? Just kind of give Tails something. Cause Tails sucks. You take that back. You take that back right now. Howl, I like you, but you're cruising for a bruise in there with a comment like that. I love Tails. Tails is cute. Tails is adorable. OMFs. I am the #1 Tails stan in this stream right now. Right now. Color Secret Ring and Black Knight. Was Black Knight one of the BioWare RPGs? They made 2 of them, right? It's like Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic and, like, the something sword. Oh, they made 1 RPG. Oh, maybe just Black Knight's making me think that, because it had something to do with, like, medieval stuff, right? Is that game any good? A Sonic RPG just sounds weird. It sounds weird. Sonic in the Land of Smelly Cheeses? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Dark Brotherhood? Sonic Chronicles and it was horrid? What's Dark Brotherhood then? Scamming people. Glad they were pre-AI art. Imagine AI art NFTs. I think some people are still trying to push NFTs, even though, like, I think the public has caught on at this point that there's no reason to buy an NFT. And I think I've seen... Oh, Dark Brotherhood's the subtitle. Okay. I think I've seen some AI NFTs getting pushed around here and there. I never understood what the heck NFTs were all about. Looks like they turned out just as pointless as I figured. I feel if you can't explain the value to a dummy like me, then it's doomed to fail. I mean, I think there are potential use cases, like I said, if a company went really hard into them and made stuff transferable between multiple games or something. That could be a viable use case for NFTs, I feel. Like, it would be like if you have your TF2 hats, right? And Valve actually tried to do this. They tried to make it so that if you had a hat in TF2, it would carry over into Portal 2. That didn't last very long. They didn't really add too many hats to Portal 2 that way, but it's the same kind of concept, and it would be like if you would trade essentially like your your token, right, for that hat away. Like, you wouldn't have it anymore in those games, and somebody else would have it in, like, multiple games, right? Like, that kind of thing. I feel like that could be a viable use case, but then, like, a company would need to build their entire, like, they would need to build their games around it if you were going to have them as usable items and more than just, like, cosmetics. And the issue with cosmetics, the issue with having, like, transferable cosmetics between your games is if you have something like, let's say, you make, let's use Team Fortress 2 as an example again, because it is an amazing example. Team Fortress 2 has how many hats and cosmetics at this point? They probably have over 1,000. That means whenever you're making Team Fortress 3, if they were ever going to, we're probably maybe never getting a Team Fortress 3. I think it's more likely we'll get like a Source 2 update for Team Fortress 2 before we get a Team Fortress 3. But the issue, yeah, you have to program it for every game and it's a mess. But in the case of cosmetics, it's like, it's not a programming issue as much as it is like, when you make Team Fortress 3, if you update the art style, if you increase the poly count, now you suddenly have the work of adding over like 1,000 items ahead of you before you can ever begin adding new stuff to generate more money. You know, it's good in concept, but at some point it just becomes a bit of an issue. And I feel like I've seen that in MMOs as well, where like they will add like a new class to say an MMO or something. And say it's a game where like weapons are tied to individual classes, right? You'll run into the problem where it's like every single expansion, if you're adding a new class to your expansion, suddenly you need to make like 100 new weapons per expansion, and then it's like you add 2 new characters, and it's like you two new classes, and suddenly you need to add like 150 new weapons per expansion, and then like once you get like 10 expansions down the line, it's like now you're adding like I don't know, like 500 new weapons per expansion, and it's like it's an issue of scale. It's an issue of scale, Almonfis. And like I'm just a little tiny dummy heckhound. I don't work in video games. I don't do anything. I'm a stinky neat. I don't make any money, and I can see the problem here without like thinking too critically about it. There are probably other issues that I haven't even perceived of, Almonfis. They made one RPG. It was so bad they never got the rights again because it was worse than anything Sega's ever put out. What? I thought, like, especially back during that era, didn't everybody love BioWare? Because that would have been during, like, when they were making, gosh, what was that one game called? Jade Empire? And that would have been, like, when they were making, like, Mass Effect and stuff. It was right before EA bought them. Do you think it was maybe a matter of them getting shuffled around that kind of messed with development or something? It was rushed out due to the buyout. Oh, it's one of those situations. They set up for a sequel that never happened. That's so sad. That's so sad. Like, there are so many games out there, movies. There are so many games out there that just end on a cliffhanger. And we'll never see a resolution. Ever. Like, I'm sure some of you can think of a game like that off the top of your head. I can think of one, like Mega Man Legends 2. We're never getting Legends 3. We are never getting Legends 3. We're never gonna know what happened there. Hi, Surface Tenchi. I think EA messed over DreamWorks Studio. Like, they had plans for a sequel to a horror game. Did they buy DreamWorks video game studio? Was that a thing? I didn't know DreamWorks had like their own game studio. They did? Wait, wait. They made Undying? I've never played that one, but I only hear good things about it. I've only played one Clive Barker game so far, and it was, Jericho, I think? It's the one where you play as, like, a squad of supernatural, like FBI, CIA agents, and you go into, like, the meat-verse, where everything's made of meat and blood. That game was pretty fun. I would recommend Jericho if you've never played it. Hi, Cervante. Golden Sun 3 also ended on a cliffhanger nearly 15 years ago. Was there a third one? I know they had Golden Sun, and they had like the Lost Age or the Dark Age or something, right? It was on the DS. I know there was one where sorry, I'm on this. I know there was one where like you play as like the bad guys from the first game or something, and I think I've talked about this before. I played through some of Golden Sun. I got up to like... There was a part with a boat. You're supposed to sail, I think, to like go participate in some tournament or something. And I couldn't figure out how to make the boat leave. It just kind of sat there at the port, and like I talked to everybody on the ship. And then I tried to go like talk to everybody like around the dock, and I even tried like looking up guides and stuff, and everybody was acting like it's no big deal. Like you can just go, and like they didn't even bother to say how to do it, and I couldn't get the ship to go. That was where the game ended for me. I never picked it back up. They make weapon drops harder and harder to get. You have like 30 classes and you kill a boss and get one weapon, which can only be used by one class. Yeah, like, I think there is a solution for that in like, you can do like Final Fantasy XIV does, where instead of dropping like a particular weapon or whatever, you just drop like a coffer or something that you can open, and it'll just give you something specific for your class. But in my opinion, that's way less fun and cool than having like, oh boy, that dropped the thing specifically for my class. It's not as cool that way, you know? It also has the best soundtrack. I don't think I've ever heard the Sonic Chronicles soundtrack. Wait, no. Is that the one that has is this from the Black Knight, or is it from that one where it has like the one song that's like, you need to fight the knight or something like that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That sounds kind of good. That sounds kind of good, One Piece. We're never getting Legends 3, and it's all the fan base's fault. Yeah, that was Capcom Europe, I think. Black Knight's the Wii game, and it's considered a mainline game. So it wasn't from the Chronicles game, that song. I've heard that song, and that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. Is the Black Knight any good? Does that one ever like come up again in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, you should do Undying though. It's pretty cool. What's like the main gimmick of Undying, or is it just a pretty good like FPS? Because the gimmick of Jericho, like I said, is you're a squad of, I think it's like 5 or 6 like supernatural like CIA, FBI agents, and you can like swap between any of the party members at any time, and they all have like they all have like cool hero shooter abilities. Like if you play as the sniper lady, you can like control your bullet while it's flying through the air, and I honestly don't really remember any of the other abilities, but I remember enjoying that game. Jericho wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. Do people say Jericho's bad? I remember thinking it was a pretty good game by all rights. I think it was like something like the final boss was basically kind of not God, and you just had to shoot it to death, but like I think it was like fine at the end, and it was I think that one ended on a cliffhanger as well, maybe. I don't remember. It's been forever. It's been forever in One Phase. The first two were on the GBA. The last one was on DS and very mid compared to the GBA ones. what was so bad about it? I didn't even know there was a second GBA one, honestly. I didn't know that. Sonic Chronicles was on DS, and that game got eviscerated from the timeline. I mean, that one to me always seemed like if you have like medieval Sonic characters with swords and stuff, that just feels to me like that can't really fit in the timeline. That just feels like that's spin-off game material to me. Very basic waggle game with no substance and nothing you do matters. That's sad. There were so many like waggling games back during the Wii era where you literally just like shook the remote to do basic actions and that was it. But there were some games, oh my god, there are some games on the Wii Awamfis that really do take advantage of the Wiimote in such a good, cool way. Have any of you ever played Trauma Center? Oh my god, I love Trauma Center on the Wii. Those are so good, Awamfis. Shooting, horror stuff, and there's a crystal that causes spooky stuff to happen. Is it like the funny Torment Cube from Heckraiser? That's also Clive Barker, right? I think Heckraiser is based off of Clive Barker's stuff, right? Thank you for the head pat, Richard. Red Steel 2 is one of the best Wii games. Don't at me. People hate Jericho? They always compare it to the other Clive Barker game, Undying, but I remember it being good. I like Jericho. I heard people didn't like it. Why? It was a perfectly like reasonable, passable game in my opinion. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. So funny because last minute copyright issues. Let me see what that link is. This isn't gonna autoplay, right? I'm always scared of stuff autoplaying. I'll keep this open and listen to it later. I never played Red Steel. Are they worth going and playing now, Awamfis? I remember Red Steel 1 was like a launch title or something, right? I remember like everybody under the sun seemed to have played Red Steel 1. Red Steel 1 is bad, barely functional. Red Steel 2 is decent. Red Steel 2 is amazing. What's that other Wii game? The Conduit, I think it was called. I remember that was also like a big one that it seemed like everybody under the sun knew and had played. I never played Red Steel. I never played the Conduit. I played like what did I play on the Wii? I played Wii Sports. I played Wii Sports and I played Twilight Princess. And a little bit of Metroid Prime 3. I never actually finished Metroid Prime 3. We gotta play through those at some point so I can be ready for Prime 4 Awamfis. I do this thing where I go and try to replay through the Prime games. I've played 1 and 2, and I'm gonna play through all of them in one go. I'm gonna play Prime 1, then Prime 2, then I'll finally finish Prime 3, and I get through all of Prime 1 and I'm like, yeah, that was a good, excellent game. And then I get into Prime 2 a little bit, and don't get me wrong, I like Prime 2. It's a really good game. But after having played through Prime 1 right before it, I get kind of like worn out like after I get into like the Dark World for the first time, and like I do like a dungeon or two and I'm like I'm feeling too burnout for this. I'll pick it up next week, and next week never comes. Next week never ever comes. Sonic Chronicles was a BioWare RPG on DS. You're thinking of Sonic and the Black Knight. Sonic and the Secret Rings used the Wiimote and it was hard to control. Trauma Center's good stuff. I only played Trauma Center Second Opinion, which I didn't know this at the time. Second Opinion is a Wii remake of a DS title called Trauma Center. I think it was called Under the Knife. It was the first Trauma Center game, I believe. And I really want Atlas to bring those games back. They were fun, but I still gotta play the other ones that are there. I think there's like there's like Trauma Team, and there's at least like one other one, and I think they made Trauma Center Under the Knife too. I think that was a DS game as well, though. I never played that one though, but I gotta play the other ones that are there. I wish they would bring that series back. Once you got to like the secret like optional boss fights in. And I know those of you that have never played it and are like vaguely aware of Trauma Center. Trauma Center is a surgery game on the Wii. You're like, how does it have boss fights? It's got boss fights and they are cool. They are cool, all of these. But once you get to like the end of the game, you get some like post-game boss fights and they get really hard. They get really like hectic, and oh my god, it is so fun trying to like min-max like the patient's vitals at the same time you're like trying to like damage the boss, and you gotta like expose its weak point, but like you're dying at the same time, and you gotta like inject the life medicine into the person, and like it's so cool. And honestly, Trauma Center has some of the coolest music like ever. I forget the name of the last boss is like it's like something Latin sounding, and it has such a cool theme if I remember right. It's been a while. Heck crazy. The Heckbound Heart, is that the crystal thing, or is that the story that Heck Racer is based off of? Because I've never read a Clive Barker story. I've heard good things. I remember, and this is always funny to me. There's like a movie or like a story of his called Midnight Meat Train. The Midnight Meat Train movies. That was always just funny to me, and every time I remember that, let me see if I can find a picture. Midnight Meat Train. It has a 2008 film. I feel like this is just the funniest title in the world of movies. I don't know why. That makes me laugh every time. Check this out, movies. The Midnight Meat Train. Sharp and brutal. Easily the best Clive Barker adaptation since the first Hellraiser film. The Meat Train. Funny because the last minute copyright issues. Are there copyright issues with the songs in that game? Jericho was cool at the time. Heck Uplifter is indeed Clive Barker. Cheap viewers. No. We don't need those. Trauma Team has some sick bangers. Also has art by the SMT folks. I think all of the games are by the SMT artist, right? At least I think Second Opinion is. I believe. Yeah, Midnight Meat Train. Hi, Praise the Sun. How are you doing? Have you seen Midnight Meat Train? I don't know anything about Midnight Meat Train other than it has an absolutely hilarious name. That is all I know about the Midnight Meat Train movies. Every time I think about Midnight Meat Train, it makes me laugh. The Wii Motion Plus really changed Red Steel 2. Feels great and fluid and accomplishes what it set out to do. I don't think I've ever once in my entire life played a Wii Motion Plus game. I still haven't played Skyward Sword, and I want to do that at some point. Gotta play Hunters. I had the demo for Hunters. I think that came with every single DS console. Hi Daz, what's going on? How's your Thursday going? You've almost made it to the end of the week. Haru hates cheap viewers. He only accepts the best viewers. Yeah, that's why I have all of you here. Because you're the best viewers to me. Always. Yeah, Under the Knife. I'll say I do think the DS game control a bit better, but the Wii title was still fun. I've never tried the DS version. I assume Under the Knife is basically the same game as Second Opinion. I assume, I heard it was pretty much just like a one-to-one remake. Hi Silverwolf, thank you for the head pat. How's your Thursday treating you? But I wanna play through the entire series at some point. Haru, have you played House of the Dead on the Wii? I played a tiny bit of one of them. I've talked about this once or twice before, I think. Like, lay gun shooters aren't very fun for me to play at home because usually they just let you credit pump and then they're like an hour-long game. So I haven't played too many light gun shooters at home. It's anime Dr. House up until the aliens attack. They aren't literally aliens if I remember right. They're just like giga super viruses that are bred by like the naughtiest man in the entire world. I think there might have been some sort of like evil Illuminati that was breeding the naughty viruses. I don't remember the plot that well, but I remember there's like a really old shriveled up dude that has like the giga extreme super crazy virus in his body, and you have to like you have to operate on like this old like ancient like 100-year-old man's body to kill like the super virus so that it doesn't keep like sprouting and they can't keep like spreading it around or so. I don't remember. I don't remember how it worked. But for some reason, even during that, whenever you're like operating on the bad dude, you gotta like keep him alive. And you can't just like let him die with the virus inside of him and let that die too. There's probably a plot reason for that, but I don't remember what it was. Are you thinking about that meat chain? No! I won't face. Just occasionally. Hi Seiki, how are you? How are you? Let me give you another shout out. Thank you for the raid. Oh, you are playing Resident Evil Dead Aim. I want to check that out sometime. Is it fun? Is it fun? I think I've heard good things about that. They also have I recently found out they have like 1 or 2 other Dead Aim games, right? There's like a, oh gosh, what is it? It's another Capcom IP. Is it? It wasn't Dino Crisis, was it? Dino Crisis? It was Dino Crisis? There was a Dino Crisis one, and I swear there was another one too. Ah, what was it? What was it? I don't remember. Every time I get up to pee, the bots invade. They know. They're watching. Also, if you gotta like run, grab any food, grab any drink or anything, please feel free. Gun Survivor 3, Dino Stalker. I'm thinking of... This one's by Square, but I think there's like a Dead Aim type game, I think, or like a Gun Survivor type game by Square that's like Front Mission or something, right? I might be entirely wrong. I've never played a Front Mission game. Are they any good on Wolfies? Have any of you ever played Front Mission? Should I play Front Mission? Should I give them a try? I don't actually know how those play. Are they like tactical RPGs? I know they have like mechs and stuff, but that's all I really know. They had they had that one game like Left Alive that I think is set in the same universe, and they were trying so hard. They used Yoji Shinkawa art to promote it, and they made like everything look like it was Metal Gear Solid 5. And I remember that's whenever like the Left Alive buried the series. I remember that during like the release of Metal Gear Solid 5, everybody was convinced there was more to the game and it was going to be like put in a patch, or like it was going to be in a different game or something like that. And a lot of people were going wild and they were like, Left Alive is chapter 3 of Metal Gear Solid 5, and it wasn't. People, I think there are still some believers to this day. I saw people saying whenever like Kojima left Konami that he's like leaving Konami as like part of their like God, what do you call that? Their marketing stunt, and like Death Stranding is totally gonna be connected to Metal Gear Solid 5, and like his new game, I think it's called Overdose, is gonna be connected, and like he's totally cooking up Chapter 3 right now on One Face as we speak. Tactical RPGs with customizable mechs. That sounds cool. That sounds cool, I want these. Doctors must help. They can't intentionally cause harm. I mean, if you're gonna let an old guy, like, on his deathbed die so that you can let the super virus die with him, I think that's a fair trade-off. I think that's a fair trade-off, in my opinion. Also, I forget if I said or not, Almonfies, today we're going to have a bit of a shorter stream. I'm going to need to go at 7 o'clock because I have something I need to get to at 8 o'clock, and I need time to get ready. I need time to, like, drive. I don't know what the traffic's gonna be like, so we're gonna stop at 7 today. I usually like to go until at least 8, but I can't do a full 4 hours today, Almonfies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. The developer supergroup, was it, did it have like some like well-known developers behind it or something? I know like nothing about Left Alive other than it was a huge flop. Thank you for the head pat, Shiroiga. Let me get a drink real quick, Almonfies. Chapter 3 will come out, Haru. Haru, I'm not joking when I think that Volume 2 will have Chapter 3. If it has the Phantom Pain like it's rumored. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You mean Volume 2 of the, what did they call it? Like the Master Collection or something like that? I kind of look forward to Volume 2 of the Master Collection just because... Let the man speak. Yeah, I gotta chat. I gotta talk with my Almonfies. I gotta air out all of these, all of those thoughts bouncing around in my brain. But I heard a lot of bad things about the first volume of the Master Collection, or whatever. Is that what it's called? Let me look it up. Metal Gear Solid okay, it is the Master Collection. It is the Master Collection. And have they really, like, announced any news about the Master Collection yet? Part 2, that is. I imagine they're probably going to wait and, like, release Metal Gear Solid Delta. Well, when is that coming out? I really want to play that, even if it's just more of the same. Like, I love Metal Gear Solid 3 so much. So much. It is up there. It is one of my top 3 favorite games, for sure. I don't even need to think about that. And I am going to buy that day one. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm buying that day one. Even if they make changes I don't like or don't agree with. I think so far what I've seen of it, it looks like a pretty, like, by the book style remaster. Like, it seems like they're just making everything look better for the most part, and I don't feel like they've really been touching any of the mechanics. I haven't been keeping up with it too much, because it's the kind of thing where I'm going to buy it regardless. I love Metal Gear Solid 3 so much, I will throw my money at them. But anyway, they might release Delta and then release Part 2 of the Master Collection so that they have, like, something in the pipeline constantly. But I heard bad things about the first Master Collection. Like, there were a lot of crashes, and I think, like, Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2 was based on, like, a really old, really bad, like, PC port or something, and you couldn't, like, resize your resolution without, like, the game crashing, and, like, I think Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 didn't have a way for you to, like, quit the game, so you had to, like, you had to, like, go in-game and, like, die and then choose to, like, exit to get back to the main menu. And, like, there was no way to leave from the game itself, so you had to, like, die and go back to the main menu. And Master Collection Volume 1 had some trouble from what I heard. And I look forward to Master Collection 2 because they had a site a while back. It's probably still up, where they had, like, the Metal Gear Solid timeline, and somebody, like, went through and was looking at, like, the HTML on the page or something like that, and they found stuff hinting at which titles were going to be in Volume 2 of the Master Collection, and I think if I remember right, Metal Gear Solid 4 is supposed to be in Volume 2. And I look forward to that just because Metal Gear Solid 4 is still stuck on the PS3. They haven't done like a PS4 or PS5 release for it yet. It's still PS3 only. Still to this day. And I think a lot of that is because they have like all of the Sony stuff in it, and they have like, Snake, this is on a PS3 dual-layered Blu-ray disc, so you don't need to change your disc here. Like all of that stuff. It's kind of tied into it, so I'm kind of curious to see if they're just going to leave all of that as is, or if they're going to just make a more general, like, update at this point. I think it would be fine at this point to just release it and leave everything as is, but I don't know. You don't get it, Haru? Konami and Kojima are playing the long game? Yeah, and it turns out that Death Stranding and OD and he was making something for like Microsoft too, I think. It was supposed to be like a live streaming game. I don't think that's OD, as far as I'm aware, but all of those are actually just Konami IPs, and like they're just in agreement. You know, we're gonna get some real some real kenography once he's done cooking. He's got like an entire team of chefs back there, and they're cooking up the absolute best surprise for us that they can. I look forward to Death Stranding 2, One Piece. It's looking really dorky in a fun way. Metal Gear Solid Collection, to be fair. I think at most, it'll be the cut mission DLC that seemed like it had a decent amount done. I don't think it'll be a full chapter. Do you mean, what did they call it? It's based off like Lord of the Flies, the Kingdom of Flies chapter 3 thing. They have, if you've never played Metal Gear Solid 5 at One Piece, it ends on like a huge giant cliffhanger that they just sweep under the rug, and they're like, oh okay, game done, you did it. And I think it was on like the making of disc or something like that, like in the special edition. They have a video that's like, they have like all of the lines for it recorded, I think it was, and they have like a lot of the assets for it done. They have like mock-up concept art of like all of the places that chapter 3 would take place, and you can basically see like what was supposed to happen, and it's supposed to be like a real big battle, and like you're supposed to have all of your mother base dudes there. It sounds really cool, but Metal Gear Solid 5 wasn't finished. It wasn't done. And I don't know if I believe they're going to do that. I think what was initially planned, if you were following along with Metal Gear Solid 5's development back whenever like it was in like still pretty early development, they said, and you can still find a bunch of like interviews about this, they were saying that Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain were going to link up somehow, and I think they implied, or like Kojima straight up said at some point, you're going to be returning to Camp Omega in the Phantom Pain, but only if you have like Ground Zeroes or something, and it's going to do something. I think he said it's like something groundbreaking that's never been done in games before or something like that, and it never happened. That whole thing was cut. There's so much cut from Metal Gear Solid 5. I could cry about this all day long. They said there was going to be a mission maker. They said there was going to be like co-op. They said they were going to have like built-in modes for like you could drop into any mission with like no gear and have to find everything like in the mission itself. Hi Chris, how are you? Hi Chris. We're talking about Metal Gear Solid 5 and how much it makes me want to cry. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you too. We're almost at Halloween. My favorite time of the year, Halloween. My favorite time. Yeah, on-site procurement. There is a mod that somebody made for the PC version of the Phantom Pain that lets you do that, but it's not official. It's called like I think it's just called like the Outer Heaven mod or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but there's some decent mods for the PC version. It's just they promised like co-op, they promised a mission maker, they promised you were going to be able to like custom design your own FOB so you'd have like a home field advantage if somebody was like invading you and just stuff like that, and none of that ever happened, unfortunately. They were also talking like there was going to be like a really big deal reveal whenever people got rid of like all the nukes, and they did some sort of like they like cheated and like did something in the system to get rid of all the nukes somehow on one of the platforms, and I think it does trigger a cutscene to play, but like they were talking like it was going to be really big. Yeah, they deleted all the nukes. Thank you for the head pat, Richard. I remember someone made a funky playable bosses versus mod for the original Metal Gear Solid 1 PC release. I've never heard of that. That sounds really cool. Volume 1's in better shape. Still needs some work. They're still patching it. I think they said they're gonna add dev time to iron out issues Volume 1 had on release so far. I'm glad they're doing that instead of jumping straight to Volume 2. I think that's the way to do it, but they should have just made a good functional release from the get-go. I do not care about that in the era of always online games and patches and DLC and whatnot, because you can run into like issues like Cyberpunk had, where the game was super duper crazy bad, and that's just been entirely memory hold. Everybody's just like, yeah, Cyberpunk's like the best game ever, but like that launched in such a terrible, horrible state. And that's just been entirely memory hold. Like, nobody remembers that anymore, I feel like. Look at Starfield, it'll be good eventually. Starfield's new DLC just came out recently, and people were saying it's not very good. People were saying it's like really bad. I've watched a good bit of Death Stranding. Can't say I'm as wild about it as everyone else seems to be. Can't tell you why. I like it. I like it because it's more Kojima world, more Kojima style of writing and stuff. Death Stranding is one of my favorite games in the last few years. Isolation really struck a chord with me. It made me cry at the end of One Piece. The ending of it made me cry. During the last mission, I cried. I look forward to Death Stranding too. Hi, Spooky Ghost Star. Let me get a drink on One Piece. Recovering the stolen mech. There were some storyboards and also unfinished cutscenes, broken animations on an island or something. I want to show you guys something. Oh god, what's his name from Peace Walker? Chico. Chico, Metal Gear Solid 5 concept art. Oh my god, he looks so cool! He looks so cool! I love this if you have never seen this before. Chico was not always slated to die in the helicopter crash. Oh my god, he is so insanely cool. He was supposed to come back as like a boss fight or like one of the buddies that you'd get or something. Look at, let me get out of the way here. Look at Chico. Look at adult Chico. It literally says there, Chico. Isn't this cool? It's supposed to be like he got all like banged up. You can see like he lost like maybe his entire jaw or maybe part of it or something in the helicopter crash. Like, look at how cool this is. Look at how cool this is. He kind of looks like what's his name from Metal Gear Solid Poops? He kind of looks like Gene over there. Is that Gene he looks like? Zero? He kinda sorta looks like Zero. I haven't actually played all the way through Poops. I've played a little tiny bit of Poops. Kinda like Gray Fox. Yeah, a little bit. But he looks so cool! He looks so cool! Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this! I would do a lot for this. We were robbed on One Piece. Look at how cool this is. This was in the art book and everything. They tease us on One Piece. I think I think Metal Gear Solid 4, or sorry, Metal Gear Solid 5 was a decent enough game for what it was, but all of the hype behind it, and knowing like all of the stuff that was cut out of it, I will forever be sad about it. I will forever be sad about it. And in addition to that, like, it needed more boss fights. It really needed more boss fights. It's my turn to protect you, big boss. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I want these. We will get punished, Chico, in chapter 3. I don't think we will. I don't think there's gonna be a chapter 3. Starfield expansion is getting worse reviews than Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. Like, darn, nobody wants Starfield. My dad really likes Starfield. That's cute. That's cute. I like seeing like older people into video games on movies. I don't know. It's cute to me. It's cute to me. Hey, looks like they recycled Null's design from Portable Ops too. Null might be the one I'm thinking of. I don't remember which one Jean was. I don't remember Null. I never played through Portable Ops. Never played through Poops. And I would like to at some point, but I've tried playing it once or twice. The gameplay of it has like a built-in stamina system, and it's not very fun. It's like you can play as Big Boss, but only until he runs out of stamina, and then he's got to go sit in the truck for the rest of the mission, and you got to play as some literal who. And if everybody runs out of stamina, then you're I think you were forced to like pull out of the mission or something. I don't know. I didn't care for what I played of Portable Ops. It had the same kind of like kidnapping soldier system that they had in Peace Walker 2, but instead of Fultoning people, you needed to knock somebody out and then manually drag them all the way back to the beginning of the level to a truck. There was a way to like kind of circumvent that. You could like park your dudes that you could play as throughout the level, and they'd be like chilling there in cardboard boxes, and you could like take the knocked out people up to them, but I don't know. That was not my favorite way to handle that. Fultons were a much more streamlined, in a good way to handle that system. I will say my only issues with Fultons as a gameplay mechanic is, since you literally just like teleport everybody up out of the level, there's no real risk of anybody like finding bodies, and there's no real risk of like anybody like wandering across like I don't know, their buddies sleeping, and like you can literally just remove people from the level for the rest of your game. And that kind of goes against the way yeah, they scream and nobody hears it. I think like at the very least, if you're going to have Fultoning, make them like make them scream and people hear it and it puts them on alert or something. Have some sort of trade-off, and don't make it like every single person just like ignores their buddy, like the loud sound of the Fulton going like whoosh, whoosh, and then like their buddy screaming right behind them. It's like, no, have there be some kind of trade-off for that. Wait, I was thinking of Null. Kind of like Gray Fox. I played Portable Ops like 10 times over work lunch breaks back in the day. Good time killer and harvesting extra gear runs. I need to play it at some point. I think it's not the only Metal Gear Solid game I haven't played, but it's like the only major one I can think of. I've played both of the Acid games as well, which are really good, by the way. If you've never played Metal Gear Acid 1 and 2, strongly recommend those. They are a like deck building card based game. They're set in an alternate universe. They're non-canon to like the main Metal Gear universe, and I don't remember if this is a spoiler or not. This might be a spoiler as a warning. they have like, you're playing as Solid Snake, but you're not actually Solid Snake. You're a clone of Solid Snake, so you're a clone of a clone. And like, I think it's supposed to be like after the original Solid Snake is like dead, or they just never bring up what happens to him or something. I don't remember. It's been a while, but the gameplay flow on them is really, really fun. It's a deck builder, and that doesn't sound good for like a Metal Gear game, but it's actually like really, really good in my opinion. It plays so super well. It's a little bit confusing at the start, but eventually it starts to click, and it's really, really good. Hi, Auntie Guess. Copy of a. Yeah, it just keeps going forever. If you can just clone people, why not clone the clone? Why not clone the clone, the clone that was cloned? Why not clone the clone's clone that was cloned by the clone's clone? Why not just go all the way down? Poops had cool cutscenes at least. Did it start the comic book style cutscenes that they had in Peace Walker? I don't remember. Star Citizen someday, but God, No Man's Sky actually became viable. I am, like I said, of two minds on that. No Man's Sky was another one that kind of got memory hold, and everybody loves No Man's Sky now. But back whenever it came out, it was half-baked, it was buggy, it under-delivered super hard, but they kept patching it forever, and now it's in a really good spot. But at the same time, just don't release your game until it's in a finished playable state. Like, I'm glad that they eventually made it playable, but just Sony was forcing them to release it. I didn't know that, but still. And being able to slam people around before they can alert and diving through them was pretty great though. It's fun, but it does take away a lot of the tension whenever you get to a certain point in Metal Gear Solid 5 where you can wear like a stealth suit or whatever, and you can literally sprint up to people, and before they will have time to turn around and notice you and be alerted and like let everybody know, you can literally sprint right up to people and just like CQC them. There is like no effort required there, and the game has a ranking system for missions. I've maybe talked about this before. The rankings more heavily grade your time than they do how many times you've been alerted and stuff. So you are actually straight up encouraged to just run up to people and just like shoot them. Kills are not very heavily counted against you. So if you're just trying to S rank, like, just take a gun, sprint through the levels as fast as you can, kill everybody. As long as you're quick, you're good. You will get the highest rank. I have for some reason, even though I have so many issues with it, I have 100%ed the Phantom Pain like twice. I don't know why. The Fulton is so loud. Yeah, it's like super loud. Nobody hears it. To be fair, I would have Fulton and then Kidnap Truck and Poops. Huh? You mean like have both of them? Acid in Volume 2, please. The Acid games are fun. That is not Solid Snake. I forget, does he have his own codename? Yeah, he's literally just Acid Snake, isn't he? I think they call him Solid Snake at the beginning of the game or something. I think. I don't remember. The extra characters you can unlock were questionably canon, even before Kojima disavowed. It was neat too. You need to radio at specific spots or something to normally unlock them, but you can cheat to unlock people too. Yeah, like you could play as like Eva or like Sokolov or like Major Zero or like I don't know, like people like that and Poops. A clone should also have their own free will. Yeah, like that's a big part of the series, you know. I would imagine cloning creates some sort of genetic mutation after a while. Does it? I don't actually know a lot about the real world. Like how cloning works in the real world. Zelda was in the first game, but like an alternate universe version, and Solid Clone was in the Wait! Was it that? Man, it's been forever. I need to replay those maybe. Let me get a drink on one face. It's just snake in acid too. Yeah, you can get like Ocelot and stuff. It's so cool. It's so cool of these. And they had, I think it was in Acid 2. They had like a Metal Gear Solid 3. You could like link it up with Metal Gear Solid 3 or something somehow, I think, and like you got like a boss rush mode of Metal Gear Solid 3 characters or something. I remember, maybe you didn't link it at all, but I remember you could literally fight in the acid combat system all of the Metal Gear Solid 3 bosses, and it was so cool. It was so cool. Let me get a drink, Elmo, please. And Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, I don't remember fighting the Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 bosses, but that wouldn't surprise me. But I love the acid games, Elmofies. I remember fighting the 3 bosses a lot. I don't remember fighting the 1 and 2 bosses. I remember people going to the same spots on the same world and finding out in the initial release promise of you can play with people was fake for No Man's Sky. I think, if I remember right, they used some really tricky wording in No Man's Sky for the initial release and said something like, if you go to the same place as your friend in the same universe, like, you never know what'll happen, but our universes are so big, it's unlikely that you'll ever run across the same place or something. It's like, come on. I think they eventually patched in multiplayer to No Man's Sky, I think. So deceitful. I don't like that really, the really like roundabout, like lawyer talk kind of way to do things. They had, they were changing something about the Twitch terms of service here a while ago. I remember what it was. It was for like, they were introducing some sort of, hi Aria, how are you? Thank you for the headband. I hope you're having a nice Thursday. They released like a DJ program for Twitch, and they were changing some of the rules around like playing music on channels, like music that can be DMCA'd. And somebody asked in the comments, whenever I think it was the Twitch CEO that tweeted that, they asked in the comments, is this going to impact like karaoke streams? And the Twitch CEO used the really deceitful, like, manipulative lawyer talk and said something like, as far as I'm aware, I don't think it's gonna change anything or something like that. And it's like, you're the CEO! Just lay down ground rules. Make things enforceable. Make things enforceable. I know that you're trying to weasel your way out of so that you can like ban people that you don't want, and you can it's bad. It's bad. I know I'm saying that on Twitch. Soon like a black van's going to pull up and like I'm going to disappear off of stream, but like as someone who works with CEOs, they don't know what's going on. I feel like in that case, just you're talking about it on like a public channel like Twitter. Just call somebody in like the relevant department and be like, hey, I'm CEO man, how is this going to affect this thing? You know, delegation, it's not their job to know. But still, they have the power to find out within their own company instead of using those like roundabout terms. They certainly made up for that release. It just took years. Yeah, the Bionic Man reaction time on stuff. Ever seen that before? Do you mean like whenever you get sprinting really fast with the certain legs and it gives you, I think it literally plays like the Bionic Man sound effect. Like, you can get one of the arms or something like that, like, you will run crazy insanely fast in Metal Gear Solid 5, and it'll play like the Bionic Man sound effects while you're running. It's so doofy. It's so doofy, Elmofies. I love stuff like that. That's one of the reasons I really like Kojima's games, is because they are serious. They are serious games, but they are like so outlandishly wacky that you can have you can have a character with like the electric lightning god fist exist in the same universe as like all of this super serious like spy business going on, and I love it. I love that. I want more stuff that takes itself seriously but isn't afraid to play around and be silly at the same time. That is my favorite kind of like writing in general. Die Hardman. His speech at the end of the game is really good on Movies. He gives a really good performance. It's like Dragon Ball Z mixed with the Manchurian Candidate. I don't know what the Manchurian Candidate is. I've never heard of that. I've seen a couple Mission Rush clips. It's funny how people will precise time dropping vehicles on people or popping smoke in a Jeep and running into people with a remote charge on it. You can do all kinds of wacky stuff. On Movies. People at that level 100% no? If you mean the CEOs or whatever, like, I don't think they always know, but it's like, it is within their power to know. You know? They could literally just call somebody and clear it up instead of being like, I don't know, maybe you can literally stream yourself naked on our platform. Beats me. Why don't you give it a try? And instead of making comments like that, just be like, no, you can't stream naked on our platform. That will be an immediate ban. Thank you for the head pet, Richard. If you make a statement, you're responsible for it. Better to say nothing. That was the funniest week. Yeah, they rolled that one back so fast. You guys all remember a while back where they were saying something like, what was it? You can have nudity on stream, I think it was, as long as it's not like pornographic or something. And oh wait, what is this prison time for online streamers? Am I going to jail? Am I going to jail on Movies? Give me the TLDR of that. I can't read it right now. But they said something like they said something like nudity is fine on stream as long as you like mark your channel for it and it's not like pornographic. You can't have like penetration, you can't have like I don't know, anything of the sort. And they said like I think they even said like you can literally draw porn on stream as long as it's like an art stream or whatever. And people went wild. That only lasted for a week before they hard rolled it back. You going down, dog? What did I do? I'm a good boy. Their music rules specifically say karaoke isn't allowed right now. Oh god, thank god I'm free. I'm spared. I didn't know that. And like, I don't know. I'm scared to sing in front of all of you. Don't bonk me. There is a fun global slow effect with 2 stages in a 2003 Half-Life 1 mod. You move faster than other people in the slow pause time area, but other people can activate a 3 to 5 second saved power-up to match or exceed your speed. Years before commercial games had working multiplayer slow time functions. That sounds really cool. I've never heard of that. The only game I can think of off the top of my head that had multiplayer and had that kind of stuff was, and this was localized to specific areas in the multiplayer mode. Have any of you ever played Time Shift? That was one of those 7th gen, like, much better than it had any right to be sort of FPSs. Hi, Ichama. Thank you for the head pat. What's going on? If you guys have never played Time Shift, that's a pretty good FPS of the 7th gen. I would recommend from the 7th gen, like, just pretty alright FPSs. Play like Clive Barker's Jericho, play Time Shift, play Singularity, play what are some of the other ones? I never actually played it, but the concept for a game called Legendary sounded really cool. It's like an FPS where I think it maybe takes place in like World War II, but it's like World War II with like supernatural enemies. You have like werewolves and vampires and stuff. Yeah, where you fight famous monsters. Play Haze. Ugh. I think it's in modern London. Maybe. I don't entirely know about the setting. Yeah, Haze was the Halo killer. Let me see if I can find a picture for you. Here it is, Amonphis. The crossover that you were all dying for. The crossover you were all dying for. Corn and Haze. Do you remember this, Amonphis? Do you remember getting it off screen? Haze was scored by Corn. Yeah. What about Slipknot and Spite? Okay, so in Smite, were they playable character skins, or was it just like an announcer pack or like music? I don't actually know what the extent of Slipknot being in Smite is. I saw about that. It was the Specialist mod. I heard really good things about the Specialist, but I never played that myself. I really loved, I think it was a Half-Life 2 mod, not a Half-Life 1 mod. Has anyone here ever played The Hidden Source? That game is so fun. One person got to play as, it was a multiplayer, I think Half-Life 2 mod. One person got to play as the titular Hidden. And you had like, I think your right click was like a super crazy, like you could charge it up. It was like a high forward jump. It would like propel you forward, and you could stick on walls, and you were invisible, and like you had all kinds of options to like mess with people, and you had a team of like operatives that were supposed to kill you. Your buddies that you were playing with in multiplayer were supposed to kill you, and you had a move that if you timed it right, you would do like a really long animation with your knife. You only had a knife, by the way, too, and the other people had guns. And there was a move that had a really long animation with the knife that would insta-gib people, and if you got really good, you could time it in such a way that you could jump up to people, insta-gib them, and then like jump away. That game was so fun. You could do so much messing with people. Don't find a picture of Haze. It deserves to be forgotten. I've talked about Haze a little bit before, and it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. I still to this day feel bad about Haze because it's what ultimately like killed Free Radical, and I love Free Radical so much. We played a while back. There was a leaked prototype of Time Splitters 4, and we played that a while back on stream, and I talked a bit about their history and stuff, and Haze was a rough spot, and it wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. Yeah, it's $9.99. What's $9.99? I remember these two things existing, but dang. I remember every moment of this. Haze was peak Brown and Bloom era, wasn't it? Yeah, it was like peak Brown and Bloom like military shooter craze, and like it was the Halo killer. It was the Halo killer. Oh, Rise Son of Rome. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like Time Splitters or something. I love Time Splitters so much. I miss it. God, Free Radical. I'm so sorry. They were playable character skins, so you can be God, what's the singer's name from Slipknot? I love his voice, Corey Taylor. You can roll around and get like a multi-kill as Corey Taylor. I like his voice. Slipknot is one of my guilty pleasures on One Piece. I like what's his other band too that he's in? He's in Stone Sour, is that the name of it? They also have some pretty good stuff. I like his voice. Especially whenever he's not like doing his growly screaming. Like he sounds pretty good whenever he's just singing normally. Rise was a fun tech demo game if you got it for less than $10. I want IO to make Freedom Fighters too. I've never played a Freedom Fighters game. I also never played the That makes me think of the Mercenaries soundtrack. Sing a few bars from Psychosocial. No, I can't. I can't. The rain will kill us all. Throw ourselves against the wall. No one else can see the premonition of the butter in me. I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing. After my buddy told me that I should never ever do karaoke on stream, I don't think I have it in my heart to stream for you, Almonfies. Thank you. Thank you for the bedside trauma. I love Psychosocial. It's great. It's great. Second Sight. Remember Second Sight? What was Second Sight on? I never played it. That was on like GameCube and stuff, right? Or am I getting it mixed up with Geist? Wasn't it on GameCube? I think Xbox and PS2. I never played Second Sight. Limpest karaoke stream I've ever seen. I'm not gonna. Wait, you can play as the gnome child from RuneScape and Smite? What? What? You seem like the ICP type. The only songs I know from ICP are like the Great Malenko and I don't actually. I think the song's called Miracles. I'm vaguely aware of Miracles. The magnets Omphis. Hocus pocus focus, right? I didn't listen to a lot of ICP. Not a lot. Also Slayer. What is Slayer? Miracles was ICP. What is a Juggalo is a good one. I've never heard that one. Hi, come into madness. But your voice is so pleasant. I need to at least get a singing teacher first and take a couple of lessons. I'm scared to sing on stream, especially after my friend told me not to. Slayer goes hard. Hi, that one Nekatsune. How are you? I haven't seen you in quite a while. I hope you've been well. I hope you've been great. Let me get a drink on Wolfies. So Slayer's a RuneScape gnome meme? I guess I don't know that one. I don't play a lot of runes. I played it like once ever and it didn't really click with me. Let me get a drink on Wolfies. I've been well. I love to hear that. I hope it's been like not just like good but great. That's what I always hope for you, Amonphis. That's what I always hope for you guys, cause I know sometimes you guys come in here and you're like, I'm doing okay. And I always hope we can raise your okay to like a great or an excellent Amonphis. Miracles goes hard. Magnets, how do they work? To be fair. I couldn't tell you how magnets work. I know there's like magnetism, I know there's polarities and stuff, and I know that they attract each other, but like, I don't know the actual dynamics behind like electromagnetism Amonphis. I don't know how all that stuff works. So I can't blame ICP for the line magnets, how do they work, but it was still funny. Hello, it's magic. The magic and the mystery on the face. I always feel better when horror streams, even if I don't catch it. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, Ellen Face. Okay. I should probably start playing the game. I have to go in like about an hour, and I have already been chatting your ears off for almost 2 hours. Miracles is about the magic of everyday life, and about not knowing how things... not knowing things is enjoyable? Wait, really? Like about how it's more enjoyable to be ignorant of things than to know things? Is that the actual... That's not it, right? Thank you for the head pat, Richard. Okay, Amonphis, let me scoot over. I've got a special edition console for you today. I have a particular piece of fan art I know some of you are gonna be kinda jumping for joy about. But It's the anti-Redditor song. I know some of you are gonna look forward to the Adoomfy fan art, but not me so much. Not me so much. And then we'll play a little bit of what's it called? Master of Time. Adoomfy fan art? Adoomfy. Adoomfy. A-D-O-O-M-F-I-E. Adoomfy. Okay. You know them, you hate them. Adoomfies. Okay, here's your special edition console for the day. This is the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap Game Boy Advance SP set. I'm pretty sure the console itself isn't limited. This is a limited edition box set. Sir, that's a box? Hold your horses! Hold your stinking horses! It could mean that it's okay to be ignorant, because everyone is ignorant of something. I don't know the actual context behind it. I love Gamebox. Hi DTW. What's going on? I think I saw there was like another Zelda Game Boy Advance SP. I think you could get the console in this one pretty easily, but the entire box set itself was limited to 300 pieces. So like, you could have the console outside of here, but it was the entire box that was limited to 300 pieces. And I thought this was really cool. They have some pretty cool, like, earlier Zelda game limited editions. Like, they have these really cool giant boxes for Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and I want those so bad on movies. I love Oracle of Ages and Seasons so much. But this is the box, contains the console. But hold your horses, because we've got another picture of it here. Minish Cap is okay. It's okay. It is, in my opinion, the least good of the Capcom Zelda games. I think I think actually Capcom only did Oracle of Ages, Seasons, and Minish Cap, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Fun fact, Minish Cap came out in Europe before the US, and there is some difference. Wait, is there? I didn't know that. Did the US get like a bug patched version or something like that? Zoomers only play with Gamebox and scroll on phone. Hold your stinking horses. It's in the box. I was good. Now I want to fight a coworker. Don't do that. That sounds like a fast track to getting fired. Talk it out. Or just like hang out and chill. What happened though? If you want to share, if you don't want to share, that is perfectly fine. Or punch it out. Don't punch it out. That's how you get fired. Capcom worked on Four Swords as well. You mean the version in Link to the Past, the original version, not Four Swords Adventure? Four Swords is okay. I have played through all of it. It is okay. It's definitely like a mini game. It's fun enough. It's fun enough. I would say Four Swords Adventure is more of an actual game. I like Four Swords Adventure. Okay, let me see. Here's our next picture with the box open. You can see it comes with the Game Boy Advance SP, comes with a charger, comes with, I think, a little, like, carrying case or something down there in the bottom right. I assume to put your SP in. I don't really know why you'd need, like, a carrying case. Comes with, like, a certificate of authenticity over there on the right that has, like, numbered whatever out of 300. Imagine how peeved you'd be if the paint got scratched. Yeah, maybe that's why they give you the carrying case. I was curious if there were any Halo revisions, but surprisingly, there's only been 3 repressings, and they're all more or less the same. You mean if Halo Combat Evolved? The original? It's funny comparing Halo to Metroid Prime, which got like 10 bug patch revisions. Yeah, there are like a bazillion different versions of Metroid Prime. Ask me questions I don't have the answer to, when you can easily contact the customer for better detailed answers. I hope he gets the answers he desires. I kind of got a pee on one face. Not gonna lie. You think they'd make it like a little Ezio hat? That would be cute. That would be cute. But I think up there at the top, it looks like all of this stuff is sitting on top of like a Minish Cap shirt or something too. PB4 stream this time. I did pee before stream time. I peed twice before stream time. Let me see. Here's the certificate of authenticity on Wolfies. Let me see if I can read this.
Certificate of authenticity. Congratulations. The legend continues, and you are the proud owner of the exclusive The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap.
Entitled limited edition adventure set. Be sure to keep it in a safe place. The Legend of Zelda TM The Minish Cap. The limited edition adventure set is strictly limited to 300 sets worldwide, making it one of the most wanted items in video game history. That's I don't know about most wanted items in video game history, but this one's marked, I think that says 183 out of 300. Game stream, I mean. My brain is made of paste. I'm only streaming until 7 today, so like I don't want to cut into time more, but like if my bladder is actually about to burst, I'll go. Here's the console. Like I said, they released other editions using this exact same Game Boy Advance SP. I don't think the console itself was the limited part. I think it's the entire box set. I think. The European version of Minish Cap had more bugs, balance changes, translation changes, and some mechanic. What kind of mechanic changes? I can understand all of the other stuff, but what mechanics did they change? I want it. It's cool, but I have other desires. Yeah, like, what is... Okay, I won't phase. Setting aside monetary value, let's say you can have any one, like, gaming object that you want, with the stipulation that you could never sell it. It would be worth $0 if you were going to sell it. What would be like the one, like, let's say like game console thing you want? A Neo Geo? Not even like a special one? Just a regular Neo Geo? Well, what game thing would you want, Alphys? It's certainly one of the items in video game history. Yeah, it's like one of the items. I mean, if there's a special one, sure, I guess. You don't sound very... You don't sound like you're very convinced there. The Pikachu Beetle card? Ah, yeah, that would be a good one. You could get around in it. If it was a console? Yeah, let's say limit it to like consoles. That way you guys aren't like, I wanna have the special Yokai Watch train from Japan. I don't think any of you guys are gonna be able to use a train. The Shadow Motorcycle. Okay, the Shadow Motorcycle is really cool. Let me pull up the Shadow Motorcycle. Shadow the Hedgehog Motorcycle. Steel Battalion controller game? Hi, Kramit. How are you today? Let me pull up the Shadow Motorcycle. I really want to play. I really want to play the here's a picture. Here's a picture of the Shadow Motorcycle. I really want to play Steel Battalion sometime with the controller. Like, it's not that pricey if I remember right. I think the controller is like $300, but it is like a $300 controller for one game. So it's expensive. But look at the Shadow Motorcycle on phase. Look at the Shadow Motorcycle. Does the regular SP have that on the battery door? Looks kind of fake. Let me take a peek back over there in a second. I already have my Kingdom Hearts PS4 Pro. I was kind of considering at the time double dipping and getting another PS4. I never bought a PS4 Pro. I was considering double dipping to get the Kingdom Hearts one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a Kingdom Hearts fan, I won't face. A golden Sega Genesis with a region-changing switch? There's probably like a golden Genesis out there, because they do have there's some like really ritzy... I keep seeing it whenever I'm going to look for video game consoles. I think it's like Swarovski or something like that. It's some like, it's some rich person company that like just diamond encrusts like all of the consoles and like covers them in gold and stuff. Have any of you ever seen the ones I'm talking about? I think I maybe showed one of them off here before, but I really would love to have the Shadow Motorcycle. rappers usually have those. And then here's the Doomfy fan art. Here's the Doomfy fan art. He's all like grizzled and mangled. He looks like someone said this in the Awomfi Court the other day. He looks like he's Jack Chaos. Oh goodness. Hard-boiled Awomfi. Let me get a drink. Hi Flo. He's been in a fight or two. Hi Johan, how are you? Steel Battalion's a great time. Used to own it. I've never played it with or without the controller. Let me pull the battery door back up. Actually, I think you're right. Isn't the normal SP's battery door like only on one side? Like it's on like the right-hand side of the console, I think, and it's like longer. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Thank you for the head pat, Johan. Woke up from a nap. God, I wish that was me. God, I wish that was me. Doomfies are canon. Oh God. Well, what do you guys think of the Doomfie? This is you, by the way, if you consider yourself an Doomfie. So just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. If you don't want to be this, don't consider yourself an Doomfie. Okay. Okay. He needs an eye patch. You mean over his non-injured eye, right? He needs an eye patch over his non-injured eye. He needs to be a bit more orange. That just screams Hard Rock Cafe to me. Non-derogatory. I would love to have the Shadow motorcycle, even if I don't ride motorcycles. Mine would also come with a smaller version that transforms into Megatron. You're just inventing your own special edition console now. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. Doomfies are real and they're coming for you. Tabby stripes. I was thinking of an eye patch and a cigar. Ah, a cigar would be pretty good. A cigar would be pretty good. Eye patch, cigar, and a fake arm. You're just turning him into Big Boss at that point. Okay. My face when I'm rooting around for a Newport on the floorboards of my Grand Am. Maybe I do make a really quick trip to the bathroom before we start. Laughing hurts. Laughing hurts. I have to pee that bad. There's a Mega Drive that transforms into Mega Drive. What? Is there? Is that a thing? I want my limited edition Garfield Steam Deck. Is that a thing too? This is the first time I'm hearing of these.
Hey kid, you wanna watch a stream?
Punished Venom Doomfie. There's a Mega Drive that transforms into a Genesis? What? Does it just have like both console hardwares inside of it? Sega really looked at Megatron from Transformers and said, let's make him into a Mega Drive. Where's the Bloomfie? If you guys want to see any Woomfie variants, you're gonna have to draw them. You're gonna have to draw them. If we have a Doomfies. Okay, I gotta pee like super duper bad. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I'll probably be like, well, let me look at my water bottle. Well, I'll probably be no more than like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll probably be no more than like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I will be back on Woomfies. Make sure you get up and like stretch, move around a little bit. It's already been like 2 hours. I will be right back on Woomfies. I love you. I love you. I'll be back in like 2 minutes after I beat. I did the thing. I did the thing. Are you proud of me? I think somebody just tried to blow my head off. No. Just, you said something that wasn't okay. Okay, I said this in my Twitter post. I don't remember if I said this at all during this stream. You may notice Link's wearing some different stuff this time. Wait, am I playing the right version? Oh no. Did I get rid of the wrong oh no! I got rid of the wrong version of the game. Oh god. I could have swore I fired it up and had... This is the wrong version. Okay. Thank you for the head pat, Shiroiga. The issue I found after doing a little bit of looking things up. The remastered version of this game. The remastered version LMVs. It has a bug that happens every time at the diving game. Whenever you go to get the scale, the Zora scale, it will crash every single time. Every single time. I managed to transfer my save over to the non-remastered version to get past that. And I guess whenever I was trying to clear out the files so I didn't launch the wrong one, I guess I got rid of the non-remastered version, and this is still the remastered version with the crash. Give me like a minute to fix this technical difficulty on movies. I'll be right back. Super sorry about this. mess things up. So, do you guys maybe want to just keep talking about stuff for like another hour or so, maybe? Do you guys maybe just want to talk for another hour or so? Silent Hill. I don't feel like that would be... I didn't have Silent Hill on the schedule for today. Hi Axe Mokuba, hi Goldie. It's so over, it's Jover! Okay. Okay. From your reaction, I thought you deleted your save. I still have this... Let me double check. I still have the save. I'm like 90% sure. I think I still have the save. I think. We could play Sonic Adventure 2. See, I don't have that on the schedule for today either. Like, I don't want to progress in any of the games that I don't have on my schedule because people might want to like show up and watch that, you know? Play Slitherio. That's the like Snake ripoff thingy, but it's like multiplayer, right? What weird subculture can we introduce Haru to? Introduce me to something about like Sonic. There can always be good Sonic stuff. Play a different emblem, not the main story. I'm not gonna get those. I'm not gonna get all the emblems. I'm gonna do those. I'm gonna probably just download a save for the Titan Tales. You guys have already showed me Titan Tales before. That's he's just like the really big, funny-looking Tails, right? You think? Yeah, he's just this guy. He's just this guy here. You've already told me about Titan Tales. Let me scoot out of the way. Not everything Sonic is good. He's just this guy. I've seen Titan Tales before. That's a good idea. Boot up Sonic Adventure 2. Just mess with Chows for 2 hours? Do you really want to see me abuse Chows for 2 hours? Like, I feel like by nature, the Chow Gardens seem like they're kind of grindy. Like, it feels like they expect me to go back and grind out animals and like chaos drives in the previous levels. I was kind of hoping it'd be Tails, but in SNK. What do you mean? Are the SNK characters all really meaty? What are some SNK games on face? Do you know the Tails doll creepypasta? That sounds familiar. What is the Tails doll from Alone Phase? Mickey game rematch? I didn't do too hot in that one last time. I stepped away, what's happening? Unfortunately, I have deleted the wrong game. I didn't delete my save, but I deleted the wrong game and, Oh, you mean, that's Attack on Titan, right? Shingeki no Kyojin? I think that's Attack on Titan. But I accidentally deleted the wrong game. I still have the save, but I'm not going to spend like 30 minutes getting this ready again in the middle of stream time. Harry did an oopsie and now Link is dead. I could play the one ROM hack. It's not a ROM hack. It's not a ROM hack. I could play the one game that I wanted to play. It's called Dungeons of Infinity. Have any of you seen about that one? I could play that one if you guys want to see. I don't know how far we're gonna get. We probably won't get like super far, but I think I have already beat it. It's really fun, but the problem with it is it takes like it took me like 2 hours to beat it the first time. Let me fire it up. I hope this doesn't like kill my computer or something. Let me slip over here real quick. Pretend you guys aren't pretend I'm a pro streamer. Pretend I haven't messed everything up. Play Holocure. I don't think I still have that downloaded. Let me like double check. I want to make sure this isn't. Oh my god, that's gonna blast your ears out. Let me turn this way down. Okay. That seems like that's good. Let me go back over here. Hey, here's that game that you guys came for, right? This is This is the game that you showed up for. Let's play. Oh, okay. I was playing as the wolf last time. One's Apex Haru. You're never getting Apex Haru. Haru promised Zelda. We get Zelda. Yeah, you're getting Zelda. Who should we play as, Olympies? Who should we play as? You might not be able to see some of them past my tail. We've got Link. We've got Link if he were a girl. We've got Monkey. We've got Penguin, Fox. We've got Slippy the Toad. We've got Bunny Link. We've got Wolf, and we've got Funny Mouse with a mohawk. Bunny, Frog. If we've got 3 for Frog, let's be the Frog. They have like bonus items and stuff, but honestly, the game didn't really seem hard enough to need them. I didn't take one my first playthrough. They've got like some challenges and stuff. I didn't mess with those. This is like Link to the Past. Let me turn this up just a little bit. This is like Link to the Past if he roguelite. It doesn't. I guess it's more appropriate to say roguelike, because it doesn't really have unlocking things. Frog from Chrono Trigger.
Ribbit. Hello, young traveler. I can give you some tips if you need some. You can light up torches by walking up to them and pressing the action button. You can run by holding the action button while moving.
If you guys haven't checked this out, this is really fun. This is really fun. Some people don't like the final boss because the final boss kind of takes away all of your goodies all at once and forces you to fight it a very specific way. What's it called? This is called Legend of Zelda Dungeons of Infinity. Dungeons of Infinity.
Lighting certain torches may help you progress.
Some walls are not what they seem. What? You want more? The game comes with a manual with more help. Mr. Frog is tired of us. This is also not, maybe that's a little too loud. Let me turn that down just a bit. This is not literally like Link to the Past engine. It is made, it's made in some other engine, but like, it plays like it. It plays like it. It doesn't have all the same quirks, and you don't have like a sword charge. As far as I could tell, I don't think there's a sword charge like at all, which feels really bizarre to me. I don't know why they would do that.
Don't ask me, I'm just a kid.
What's an action button? Don't ask me, I'm not the one playing. But it took me, I think, like 2 runs to beat the game. The final boss is like a souped up version of Aghanim from Link to the Past. I think that's how you say his name. He didn't die on the first screen, so I like it more than Funger already. The final boss in this is like a souped up version of Aghanim from Link to the Past, and he's got like a unique mechanic in it. I just sit through a Fortnite ad to get here, Haru. A Fortnite ad? I'm sorry, Hayden. I'm sorry. That's why I do my, I like to do like, I start the stream up 5 minutes before we're actually going to even chat, so that people can filter in early and skip the ads if they want. But, hi Hayden, how's your day going? But, the final boss is Aghanim, and he's like, he's way harder than Aghanim in the base game, and he like takes away all of your stuff, and he like forces you to fight him with bombs that fall from the ceiling. A lot of people didn't like that, and I can definitely understand why, because you're playing a roguelike game like this, where it's like, you have an inventory and everything here. We have limited inventory slots, and they just suddenly take away all of the roguelike aspects at the very end of the game, and suddenly you just have to fight him one very specific way. It's a very questionable design decision, in my opinion. Also, it can be very dark in places like this. Can't wait to get the Shaq skin. They don't have one of those. Let's see. The gloves give you defense, if I remember right. So let's buy gloves. They have like shops that'll show up. Here's Luigi on one face. Your favorite Mario character. Screaming cause 2 idol groups that never put their songs on streaming internationally. all you got was like short MVs of their songs and finally put their full songs on streaming. I'm glad to hear that. I'm usually the kind of person where like I just get my stuff like elsewhere and put on like my phones. I don't use like streaming services. I'm like the antithesis of how most people seem to use the internet these days. I was talking with somebody just the other day. I had to go to an appointment, same place that I'm going later at 7, and they also have kinstones for Minish Cap in this, and like they're just kinstone pedestals that appear sometimes. If you have the proper kinstone to fuse them, you can get like free goodies. But I was talking with somebody the other day. They were like, our internet's out. Sorry, we can't play any music. And I was like, oh, why don't you play some music off of your phone? And they were like, oh, we can't do that. The internet's out. And that was whenever it occurred to me. I think most people these days just use streaming services. Also, I think we just got enough money to buy the sword. Yeah, check it out, all of these. This just makes our sword do more damage. I don't know anyone that puts music on their phone. Why? What if you're in a place where you don't have like cell service, or like you wanna listen to a song that's not on YouTube or something? That is explicitly why I download all of my music. When we had that ice storm, the fact that I had my Walkman still was a godsend. I'd have gone crazy with nothing to listen to. Oh, we got a key. I don't remember where the key room was. These pedestals here are for like... You can find a bunch of different rods in this that you can like charge up with your magic meter. They're refillable through your magic meter. I think it's like, it's kind of a cute mechanic. It's kind of a cute mechanic. I really hope this gets additional content at some point, because I like this game. It's just, I beat it in like 2 hours, and I don't really think there's like any reason to play it after you beat it, really. Walmart ran out of physical media due to the hurricane. I saw that! It was like, the $5 movie bargain bin thing was completely sold out, and I heard like people were going and trying to buy... They were trying to buy like old 7th gen consoles and stuff from like GameStops. Also, not all the bombable walls. Not all the walls with cracks are bombable. I think it's like that in Base Link to the Past too, if I remember right. They do usually denote which walls are bombable. Blood? Yeah, this is not based directly off of Link to the Past, so there are some changes like blood. I only put songs on my phone if there's no other option. See, I like having all of my stuff available at any time. That's the kind of person I am, Almonfees. The ice storm took out the power internet, if that wasn't clear. Yeah, like, There have been a lot of places just like losing power and internet lately. Maybe we're going to get to enjoy another Dark Age phase, and you'll have to live without me. And look, here's a corpse. Here's a corpse. LDR posted a video today. Tree just obliterated one side of his house. I saw a picture of that, but I have no idea who that is.
You got a lollipop. Replenishes 2 hearts.
Those take up an inventory slot. Everything in this takes up an inventory slot, Almonfees. Everything. I saw those pics. People picked the $5 bin clear. Made me laugh because apparently, yeah, people were buying 360s, which is a topic that's dear to me right now. How has it been going with restoring the one that you bought? I saw that. Sounds pretty crazy out there. I hope everybody was like entertained enough during the hard times. I don't like these guys. They function differently in this version of the game than they do in the base game, because they have the ability to walk at you while they're swinging their ball and chain, and they can't do that in Link to the Past, I don't think. It's like Funger after all? What do you mean? You mean the blood and the corpses? I've never played Fear and Hunger. Are they worth a play, Almonfees? Are they worth a play? I don't know if there are ever pushable blocks or not. I beat through the entire game and never saw any, but there might be some. Old? Watch your tongue, retro wolf. I mean, they can be old but not retro. You know, it can be both. It can be both. You also need to find a bow to use your arrows. It's a pain in the butt. He's a fan of MIDI, so he's good by me. Walmart still has 360s. They didn't get them from Walmarts. They were going to like GameStops to get those, I think. You guys don't have music downloaded on your phones? I mean, like, that is normal, right? Almighty Funk, can you run a poll asking if the Olympians have if they have music downloaded directly on their phone? Lazy Game Reviews, he loves reviewing retro PC hardware. Hello, young lad. My name is Pezo. Could I ask you for a favor? Great. I have a friend who lives in the Rebel Village. She is ill, and I can only assume she is on her last breath. Could you deliver a letter to her? Yes. Thank you. Here is the letter. You will find the Rebel Village through the catacombs and below the sewers. Stay safe and farewell. They will oftentimes give you arrows that you literally can't use. Also, something really cool about this game is it supports custom sprites. If somebody were to make a Haru sprite sheet, I could play with it. I can play with it, Always. Was it the 2008 ice storm? 2021, Texas. We didn't have power for 3 weeks. That sounds awful. I think the longest I've been without power after like a storm has been 2 weeks. 3 weeks sounds miserable, especially Texas sounds like it probably gets hot. People were like dying then from not having air conditioner, right? I haven't noticed any bombable walls yet. Going well. Finished cleaning the literal bugs out of the power brick. Waiting on a delivery of some Captain tape and resistors so I can start modding. What's Captain tape? I've never heard of that before. This game can... The roguelite element most comes, I feel, from the fact that, like, you're relying heavily on enemy drops, and they can be really stingy sometimes. Like, obviously, the floors are completely randomized. You will never see these floors here ever again on Wolfies. The floors that I'm going through right now. You will never see this layout again. I remember buying friends pizza on DoorDash to save them during that one. Yeah, that's so nice. That's so nice. I would like another sword upgrade. These guys take 3 hits, but you're kind of limited by what the shopkeepers have. Half my phone storage is just albums of music. See, mine's like that too. What do you mean, just a Link sprite? If you replace Link's sprite sheet, you can have like custom sprites in this. Hi, I'm Justin. I'm the game's creator. Nintendo put me in jail because they don't like people making games using their assets. I hid many secrets in the Rebel Village. Hope you will find them all. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Haru's Steam exclusive layout. Stream exclusive layout? What do you mean? What do you mean layout? Oh, that's kind of a lot of money. Hi, I'm Justin, the game's creator. Nintendo put me in jail. Blah blah blah. Does he give me more money? Sir? Do you have anything else for me? I'll take more if you've got it. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's like amber sticky tape. Has the thermal properties that shield stuff from heat. So if you use a heat gun, you put the tape down on stuff that you don't want to get hot while heating the stuff you do. I have a heat gun I only really use for cosplay. 67%. 4 of you have music on your phone. See, you guys are prepared for whenever the power goes out. If you ever take electronics apart, you'll probably see where they used it to keep conductive stuff separate. I... never seen it. Never seen it. I'll need to look it up after this if I remember. Don't go to Brazil, Justin. I tried sending, here's a mushroom. I don't know what the mushroom healed. It healed me a bit. Consume? Yeah, you gotta eat the mushroom. You gotta eat it at one of these. Haru's Omegaverse slideshow? Whoa, wait. You have my Omegaverse slideshow saved? Really? I tried sending pizza to my friends. I'd accidentally send it to myself and be like, guess this is my pizza dough.
You gotta be nice to your friends.
Haru having an option to use something that won't fit in your inventory? Or having an option, not Haru an option. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's nice to just be able to scoop the mushrooms up off the floor into your mouth. I don't know why that's not, like, always an option in games. Especially games like this, where you're inevitably going to have to leave stuff behind. Thank you for the follow, that one guy, Cedos. I hope you're having a nice Thursday. Today's Thursday, Elmofies. Thank you for the head pat, Richard. I don't know how far into this we're actually going to get before I gotta go, because I do have to leave, like, at 7. I'm hopeful we can get to at least, like, there's a boss on this floor. They also have this. They have stars on one face, but I found it at the end of the room, so it's not very useful. There's the boss. In traditional roguelike manner, you want to clear out everything before you go to the boss. Because they might have this. Ring of Arrows, level 2 tunic. Let's buy a tunic. Every year, I buy my mom, let's get rid of the lollipop. We're not using that. Every year, I buy my mom flowers for Mother's Day. I forget to switch my address back on Amazon, so I inevitably send my mom an SD card or pack of paper towels or something. I've had friends run into that situation where they get like their parents' stuff off of Amazon, and then they end up like sending their parents like clothes or something like that. Why is that guy's head a butt? You mean back in the shop? I didn't see it. Oh, there's another shop. What did this do again? Separate bag to hold your gems and kinstones. That'd be kind of useful. There's a heart piece. We'll just go for a sword, We'll just go for a sword. Yeah, it's in my files. I'm glad somebody is keeping the Omegaverse slideshow alive. Haru just eats random mushroom. Yeah, do you not? Do you not trust the random mushrooms you find in a dank dungeon full of dead bodies? Those are the best kinds of mushrooms, Omofis. You never know what they were feeding off of to get as big as they are. Cute. Let me go look at the... Oh, you mean this guy? Yeah, his head kind of does look like a butt. I don't like that. I don't like that. Zelda's slumming it. Is your MP maxed out currently? It can go higher, but the drops have been kind of sparse. And here's these dudes, Elmofies. I don't remember the name of these guys. I don't think they're Armos. I don't believe. What's the whole Omegaverse thing? So the Omegaverse, Elmofies, is it's a concept. It's a concept where you have different classes of people. Aren't they Armos? I don't think so. Also, please allow that message through the auto mod filters if you would be so kind, mod. They are Armos? Armos Knights instead of statue? The Omegaverse is a concept where you have it's a fictional concept, of course, where you have different people in society. You have alphas, you have betas, and you have omegas, Olympies, okay? And the alphas are like the dominant ones in society. They're the dominant ones, okay? And they're at the tippy top of society, and then you have the betas, which are attracted to the alphas. Everyone's attracted to the alphas, okay? And it's the betas are attracted to the alphas, and they're under them in like the hierarchy. Also, that's like a save point where you can stop playing for now. Me when I tried to sub but forgot that I don't have my payment details saved on this device. I hate inputting my new payment details. And so you have your alphas and you have your betas, and then you also have omegas. And the way that it works is alphas can get omegas pregnant, okay? And it doesn't matter, you can have alpha males, you can have omega males, you can have alpha females, you can have omega females. And like, you can have like an alpha female get an omega male pregnant. That's just kind of how things work. That's just how it works. I don't know what got filtered there. Yeah, I think like Armos, we like looked this up at one point, and it's like a slur for someone or something. Like, that is obviously not what we're talking about here, but it gets automatically caught by Twitch chat. They're trying to keep people from seeing the bad words. Does this have unique bosses? The only unique boss is Aghanim, as far as I remember. I have beaten this entire thing, and I will be honest, I do not recall. I do not recall. I am forgetful, I won't these. Let's see. We're a bit off from the next boss. If I go fast, is this a Zora gem? The way the Zora gems work is like you throw these gems into the pond, and once you throw in 2, the Zora will pop out and give you a free item. Thank you for the gems. He gave me 2 strawberry cakes. Why's that ew? Why's that ew? Oh right, this. I don't know what got filtered there. Mpreg? Yeah, it's like, you can have Mpreg or Gpreg. We've talked about that before. It stands for girl preg. You know, Wolfies? It's a regular part of life in the Omegaverse. Ew? What are you ewing at? Are you ewing at the girl preg? No, I wish I didn't even know that. I have to make sure that you're educated on Wolfies. We can't go that way. Is there another door I missed? I think it's designed in such a way that there will always be a way for you to go. I guess I missed a door back here somewhere. But isn't that just preg? No, that's G-preg for girls. The Omegaverse goes deep. Yeah, like, it goes even deeper than that. If you want to look into it, I'm not gonna get too deep on stream, but like, basically, the Omega males emit pheromones that, sorry, the Omegas in general, not just the males. All of the Omegas emit pheromones that make the Alphas want to, you know, be with them. Be with them. Thank you for subscribing, Hayden. This is your first month with us. Hopefully in time, that can be like a bazillion months, 100 months. I'll still be streaming then, Wolfies. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about that. Also, the fire orbs are cool. I don't know what a good use case will be for it, but I'll show you it whenever I can, Wolfies. Who even wrote the Omegaverse? My understanding is that the Omegaverse. Hi Magnadeus. How's your Thursday going? My understanding is that the Omegaverse, I think it was initially popularized through like, I think it was like through Chinese like BL novels or something. I think. I'm not entirely sure what the origins of it are. I'm not positive. A dogillion months? I'm not a dog! There's no such thing as a dogillion. Okay. That's not a thing. They also have a bunch of like custom NPCs as the shopkeepers. Mom says it's my turn to play the Xbox. The Rod of Wealth is kind of good. You can shoot it at enemies and turn them into rupees. I'll show you guys real quick how this fire orb works. You throw it out and it does that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? One of us. That's the last purchase I make for the month until Sparking Zero comes out. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm not really sure. I don't think I'm really going to buy anything this month. I'm usually not the kind of person that buys a lot of stuff in general. Like, honestly, until I started VTubing, I basically, anytime I would get money, I would basically just like accumulate it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's like, I think that is a good way to handle things. But I would usually just like leave my money accumulate. Also, check out the Rod of Wealth. You can hit the enemies and turn them into money MLPs. I love this thing. I love this thing. It's so good to have one of these. That explains a lot. What do you mean that explains a lot? You mean about the origins of it? A bark trillion? That's not a real number either. But you spend like, I spent like 85 rupees on this, I think, and I'm pretty sure I've already made more than that just by like blasting the enemies. And the other nice thing about it is it's pretty much an instant kill. I think it does that to every enemy. It has charges and we need to fill it up with like our magic and stuff, but it's really good. It's really, really good, I won't phase. I can feel my eyebrows burning just looking at that. Feel your eyebrows burning looking at what? Did I get a key? Oh, we hit the blue switch. We gotta go back around to the room that had the mummies to go through there. I like saving money, but then people think you're being cheap for some reason, especially if you're saving a large amount. Yeah, I don't know, like, I try to be as careful with my money as I can be, and people do tend to think like you're just being like cheap or stingy or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to save what little money I do have. Okay, I think the next area is the town. Let me get a drink real quick, I won't fizz. I've gotta like start booking it through here. It's getting close to 7. Should I buy a treasure chest? I don't want a treasure chest. I don't like gambling. If I can't actually see what I'm buying, I don't want it. I don't want it. That's how I always treat these. Oh yeah, check out the star album phase. It's so good. It's so good. Thank you for the bits, Richard. What's at 7? I gotta go then. I gotta go. Hi, Tokai. I unfortunately have an appointment today, and I'm gonna have to go at 7. Spin! I love the spin, I won't face. I really like the spin. I wish they had more of them drop, because there aren't a lot of them. Would Hari use the money wand on us? Of course not! I would never kill you and turn you into money, I won't face. I love you too much for that. I would never turn you into money. Hard care is necessary. Yeah, unfortunately sometimes I gotta go do stuff too, and there was no other time I could do this appointment. Haru would kill us on a whim? I would do no such thing. I think this is just a fairy heal. I didn't even need that. Because saving equals being cheap. Yeah, I don't understand that mindset. Like, people aren't cheap just because they're not spending a lot of money. In my opinion. Some of the floors are generated really tiny, and then some of the other ones can be like absolutely... Hello, sir? Looks like a dead explorer. Search his body for loot? Yeah! Oh no, you have been cursed. Effect. Items that use magic use twice as much. Task. Kill 15 enemies to remove the curse. Nothing was found. I got cursed for nothing. Look at my little frog now. I'm completely gray, Elmfies. I'm completely gray now. Don't be frugal, people. It makes you a cheap butt. I mean, I won't phase. I always tell you guys this. Please, 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 always put yourself first. Never like, I don't really feel like I need the cakes. Please make sure you're putting yourself first. If you don't have money or whatever, I don't want you to be like subbing to me. Like 100%. Oh god, I don't know what to drop. I'll drop the kinstone. I want to take all the gems with me, because there's always a guaranteed Zora fountain in the village that we're about to go to. I really like the concept of roguelike Link to the Past OMVs. This was like right up my alley, and I was super excited whenever I heard about this. You're dang right, I'm cheap. I don't have the money to be using willy-nilly. Yeah, same. Like, some people just don't have a big income. I don't make a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money. If you want to consider me self-employed now, I still consider myself a NEET. Some of you might think that's stolen NEET valor. I still consider myself a NEET. I don't make a lot of money from streaming. Haru would kill us on a whim. No, I love my OMVs. I love my OMVs, and I want them to take care of themselves and be around for a long time to come. Okay? I don't want to kill you guys. We don't need to drink that. We don't need that. Haru, would you use the money wand on me? If you could buy the shadow motorcycle. No! No! Of course not! I could buy a heart container. I kinda wanna buy a heart container, but I don't think I need it. Haru would still say no? Yeah, I'm not... What if we're billionaires? What do you mean, what if you're billionaires? You mean in the case of being cheap then? In the case of saving your money then, I would still say, like, if you are trying to keep to a budget or whatever, even if you're a millionaire, like, go ahead and keep to your budget. Don't let other people peer pressure you on these. It is not cool to be peer pressured. Like, if someone's like, you're not gonna drink this alcohol or smoke this weed, be like, no thank you, sir. I don't do that. Don't let anyone pressure you on this. Don't fall for it. I believe that you are better than that. I believe in you, all movies. I don't like the little hopping lizard dudes. I don't really know what their AI is. I think they're from the water dungeon that it's using the tile set of here. This has a lot of potential. The only downside about this so far is it's pretty short. This is a really fun ROM hack. It's not a ROM hack. This is a really fun game, fan game. It's just really short is my one issue with it. I beat it on like my second playthrough, like I said, and it took me like 2 hours, and there's not really like any additional bosses. You're fighting the same bosses every time. There's not really any extra like stuff to unlock, because you don't unlock new items between runs. It's not a roguelite in that regard. Every time you die, you're starting from scratch, and it's a lot of fun. It just feels like it needs a little bit more content, like a little bit more longevity there, in my opinion. I think there was another room back here. Let me go check that real quick. I mean, even if you're a millionaire, then you can literally have anything and everything you ever wanted. At this point, you can just toss money out like candy. I mean, a lot of people don't do that, though. A lot of people don't look at it that way. Like, a good example of that that I can think of off the top of my head. A lot of you probably know Mr. Notch of Minecraft fame. Whenever he sold Minecraft to Microsoft, I think he sold it for like $7 billion or something. And he gave everybody on the Minecraft team up until that point, like, I think it was like half $500,000 each or something. And it's like, I think the team was like 5 or 10 people up to that point, and it's like you could have easily given them all at least like 8 million, and you would still be set for life, and that would be like insane for them. Like, it's nice that he gave them anything at all, but at the same time, it's like you could have set these people up for life, and that would have been the nice thing to do for the people that helped you, like, you know, make the game that is the biggest franchise. I think Minecraft is still the biggest franchise in the world. That's probably Pokemon. That's probably Pokemon. I think in terms of like franchises, it's something like Pokemon is the absolute biggest, and then I think it's either Sanrio or Disney, and then whichever one it isn't in second place after that. Also, I'm not gonna talk to a lot of NPCs here. I'm just gonna grab the goodies that I know how to get to really quick, and then we're gonna leave, because I'm running out of time. I gotta go in like 14 minutes. I gotta go soon. $500,000 is still life-changing money. It is, but it's like, he could have given those people like enough that they would definitely never have to work again, you know? I mean, if you are frugal, if you're like being very particular with your money, that can definitely last you a lifetime. Okay, I'm just gonna skip past all of her dialogue. She talks about her friend and how she hasn't seen him in forever, and she gives us like all the rest of her money, and then she dies. She literally dies here. Thank you for the head pat, Richard. You can see her sprite slowly turning gray. Wholesome game. Ah! She does die. Alright, would 500k set you up for life? 500k? If I was living at the place that I live now, 500k might buy me a house, if I'm lucky. It is so expensive to live where I live now. I live in like one of the most expensive places like in the US, so 500k wouldn't take me super far, unfortunately. Unless I moved out to like the middle of nowhere, but I like where I live. So you live in a mansion? No! No, I do not live in a mansion. My house is pretty tiny. Beverly Hills, Haru. I'm not gonna say where I live. Not gonna say exactly where I live, but it is on the West Coast, and the West Coast is pricey. You can see, here's Zelda and her boyfriend on one face. I wanna read this one to you, because it's funny. Link, how nice to bump into you. This is my boyfriend, Brad.
Who's this clown?
Oh, he's just a friend. Just a friend? I told you, Link. I moved on. I'm with Brad now. Brad? Yeah, it's Brad!
You hear that, clown? She's with me. Now buzz off.
Pilot Wings? Is this song from Pilot Wings? This song is so weird, I love it.
So, babe, where was I? Oh yeah, I was telling you about my pecs.
Maybe it's best you leave, Link. It was good seeing you. I told you, Link. I'm with Brad now.
Buzz off, clown. She's with me.
I like how he's just like an edgy reskin of Link.
Mogged.
Who's this clown? Let me see. SimCity music, so nice. Is the town theme from SimCity? We might make a few quick purchases here. Weird NTR. I want to buy... Here's the level 2 bag upgrade. I wanna... can I afford that? I could. How to get girls? Go to a bar shirtless? Show off your pecs? I mean, assumedly they met before that. One would assume. And here's Danny Trejo. At least it looks like him. What do we have here? I think this makes money give more money. No. This one's Prince Bombs. That one makes you take less damage, I think. This shows you that's like a map and a compass. You'll be alerted when a secret door is in a room. I don't want any of this stuff. Seems like the songs are from other SNES games. I didn't know that. I don't think I've played any of the games that the songs are from in this. And there are goodies over here too. You can lift up those chickens and get a free egg. You got a ring of rupees. Convert your magic meter into rupees. That is a very powerful item of these. As someone who lived off tips, I've lived with the mentality that any extra money given to me is still something that I don't have before, no matter how small. Yeah, like, anytime you guys give me, like, anything, even if it's like, even if somebody were to donate a cent to me, I think realistically 1 cent would get eaten by PayPal, but I'm super thankful for anything that you guys give to me. Did I read NTR? Good content? Hi Manishi, how are you doing? There's a really quick, subtle NTR plotline in this game for some reason. Zelda is together with Brad now. There's a lot of goodies to find here. I think I should try to like speed off and see what I can do in the next area before I gotta go, cause I gotta head out soon. I won't face. I gotta head out very soon. I like finding secrets in the cities. There are a lot of different secrets in here to find. Just, I don't have time to like go around and do everything. So we're gonna buy the key, we're gonna buy treasure. I should have bought a sword upgrade. Oh man. Kinda beefed it there. I don't think I can afford it now. Oh dang, if I had more time, you can basically print a ton of money here at this section. Here's like a house where you can do some gambling. There's a lot of stuff to find here in this area, and if I had more time, I would definitely get everything. But I gotta go soon. Wand the cuckoos and see? You mean if they can be turned into money? It probably works, but I gotta go fast. Also, third person. Haru turned on the third person redeem. Haru's gonna talk in third person if Haru can remember. Haru's gonna speed it through this part. If Haru can get enough rupees to see, Haru's not gonna hang around and just get rupees, because Haru does have to go soon. So Haru's gonna wand the enemies with high health. These chompy dudes have really high health, so Haru's just gonna maybe kill them real quick. Haru, some of the rooms will give you goodies if you kill all of the enemies in them, but not all of them. Also, these are the dudes that are like under bushes and rocks sometimes. They have them like on their heads. This looks maybe breakable. Let's see. I remember, Magna remembers Magna's old job at a grocery store. Magna used to be a bagger. The rules were, we aren't allowed to accept tips. Why? Because it was stealing company money, which made no... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you be allowed to get tips? Also, they have like 5 or 6 sword upgrades in this game. It's kind of cool on One Piece. It's kind of cool. That's why Haru recommends like, check this romhack out. Also, this sword lets you hit electrified enemies, so you can hit the, what are they called? Buzz blobs? You can hit those without taking any damage. Oh god, Haru might actually end up dying if Haru goes too speedy. Oh right, Haru has the master key. Haru can actually just speed through here. Haru forgot that Haru bought that. Haru is a dummy. Haru is a dummy, yellow face. Okay, Haru can just speed it to the boss here. Haru's just gonna bypass everything. Gotta go at a Sonic Adventure 2 pace. Haru's gotta go faster than a Sonic Adventure 2 pace because Haru likes to, you know, go nice and slow and steady. That was not what Haru meant to use there. Haru meant to use the wand. Let's get that out real quick. Haru's gotta go in like 5 minutes. Wait, Haru's wand just got stolen. All right, One Phase. This is how you win the room. This is how you win the room. Easy. Easy. Pump them little legs. Haru's a dummy? Haru's not a dummy. Haru's pretty smart, right, One Phase? Haru's pretty smart. Hacks. Haru's not cheating. Haru doesn't have enough money for the treasure chest. Haru doesn't have enough for either of those. Haru's gotta be a quick heck hound. Oh god, Haru actually needs to kill everything here. Never mind. Never mind. Tab in, and it's just Frog Spin attacking the whole room. Hi, Bad Lord Flint. How are you? It's good to see you again. Haru hopes you've been great. Haru's trying to speedrun to the boss here so that you can watch Haru die terribly. Haru's gonna try to beat it, but Haru offers no promises. Haru has no heals. Haru has no heals here. Haru might actually just die here. Haru's just gotta beat the boss without taking a single hit.
No sweat. No sweat. Hayden, silly.
Haru doesn't want to go that way. Haru doesn't want to go that way. Richard once spoke to Haru about economics, and Haru told... Thank you for the head pat, I trauma. Okay, Haru died. Haru died! There's a quick peek at Dungeons of Infinity at Womfies. There's a quick peek. Haru didn't have a shield. Haru got octorocked. Richard once spoke to Haru about economics, and Haru told Richard that balancing Richard's portfolio is smarter than holding onto your high-value stocks. Haru's a genius. Ah! Haru doesn't know anything about stocks. Haru knows nothing about stocks. Haru was considering buying stocks once or twice before in the past, and Haru doesn't even know how. Haru never learned anything like that. Haru feels like it would be good if they would teach you that kind of stuff. If they had like a finance class in school. They don't have anything like that. They don't teach you anything about like credit or finance or anything of the sort. Which, like, that's important stuff for the real world. They should really teach you all of that. They should have a class in, like, high school about that on one phase. They don't teach it for a reason. That's a good point. Also, that was our third person timer. I can talk like normal again. No more third person. No more third person. Alright, I don't think we're actually going to be able to get anywhere in, like, 40 minutes. You might maybe be able to see me get to the next floor if I don't just keep going back and forth in the same rooms. It's kind of an intermediate step of learning money. You start living paycheck to paycheck. Once you dig yourself out, you should really start learning how not to let your money sit around. Yeah, like... if you are somebody that's actually making money, I don't know at what point you should start investing your money, because I think the most I've ever had to my name has been like $6,000 or $7,000. I've never seen a big chest before. Free shield. That's brand new to me. I think the most I've ever had is like $5,000 or $6,000 at once, and I don't really know at what point you should do that. Like you said, literally no one teaches you that. I have some VTubers I can recommend. You mean for finances? He's gonna forget what he said, so the joke won't make sense. You mean finance VTubers? Huh? Oh, you mean big chest. You mean big chest. Yeah, there are a lot of those. There are a lot of those. Invest money into plushies. It's a good investment. I mean, if you want to go down the dark path on One Piece, if you want to go down the dark path that no one should go down, buy new releases of Pokemon plushes. You can scalp those. You can scalp those. You shouldn't go down that path. You shouldn't go down that path, but that is an option. That is a plushie-based option. I want to go down the darkest path? No! Don't go down the dark path! Don't do it. They want to keep the average down. Here's where I would fuse a green kinstone if I had one, but I don't have one. I don't have one, so we can't do that here. I wish it would have given me like a sword upgrade instead of a shield, because the shields are like okay, but I feel like the enemies that shoot stuff at you aren't like super huge problems. But I don't know, like, for example, I have a plush on One Piece. I have a plush that I really, really love. It is a substitute doll plush, you know, from Pokemon. And I found you can buy that guy online. I think it costs like $30 to buy him when he first came out. You can buy him now online from like a reseller. You can't buy him from Nintendo anymore. He's sold out. They haven't reprinted him. And he costs like 60 or 70 bucks off of that site. So like it is a thing you could do if you wanted to go down that route. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, I won't phase. I gotta get schmovin'. I gotta get schmovin', I won't phase. I have a Sprigatito plushie. I'm trying to get all the cat Pokemon in plushie forms. I have a Litten plush. Thanks for the stream, Hara. No, thank you guys for being here, and thank you for being so great. I love you guys, always. Who can we raid into today? Thank you for the head pet, Itrama. We could raid. Do you guys want to see Castlevania Portrait of Ruin? Do you want to see some art? Do you want to see Armored Core 6? Or do you want to see Resident Evil? Resident Evil 1, that is. Which do you want to see? Whoever says something first. Resident Evil? Okay, we're gonna raid Humanan. Let me get the raid fired up on one face. Tomorrow is going to be our 24-hour stream. I want to see more of you. That's so sweet. What about Mario Party 5? Was there somebody playing Mario Party? Let me see. There's Mario Party 4. There's... do I have anybody playing Mario Party 5? I have a lot of people that are streaming right now. Wait, Momoka is? Oh, wait, yeah, let's raid Momoka. She raided us yesterday and she's doing a partner push. I totally did not see her there. I totally didn't see her there. Yeah, let's raid Momoka. She's doing a partner push. If she keeps over 75 viewers on One Face, if she keeps over 75 viewers, she can get partner. She can get partner on One Face. So let's go drop in on her. She's really nice, and she just at the start of the month, I was there whenever she debuted it. She has a new model. It looks so good. It looks so good on Wolfie's. Raid message? Let me start this up first. Tomorrow on Wolfie's, I looked up Zangoose plush, and there's one called Zangoose Sitting Cuties. Yeah, there's a line of plushes called the Sitting Cuties. My favorite are the Comfy Friends plush line. That's what my substitute doll is in all of my evolutions. Tomorrow we're going to have a 24-hour... We're gonna have a 24-hour stream on Wolfies. It's going to be NES games, and you guys are going to be able to make me swap them out whenever. Save error raid? That's actually a good one. That's a good one. Let's do save error raid. Save error raid. I like that one. Momoka's trying to do a partner push. Hang out, chat with her. She's really cool. Tomorrow we're gonna have 24-hour NES game stream. I'll be live like all day at our usual time, 4 p.m. If you're not in the Owumfi Cord, here's a link to it. Usually I'm going until at least 8. I apologize that I have to cut things early today, Owumfis. I apologize, but I've got an appointment I gotta make. I love you, Owumfis. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow and all day into Saturday. I'll see you then. Take care. Have a great night. Bye, Owumfis. Here's your raid message. Here's...